prices and a wide selection of apparel from t-shirts to performance sports shirts, even jackets and hats. They feature low minimums and no setup charges on most orders. Turbo Threads is located at 1503 Golf Course Road in Rio Rancho, or find them on Facebook, online at turbothreads.com, or call 999-1234 for Turbo Threads.
If you're drunk,
blasted, intoxicated,
ripped, plastered, destroyed, Brock. If you're like this, you shouldn't be driving.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible.
Well, I'm going to the frontier, walking to the cashier, order up a root beer and a number one. Cover it with green stuff, one scoop is not enough. Find a booth is real tough, backed by the Duke. Meet my family, meet my friends in the quirkiest restaurant I've ever been. All of Albuquerque's favorite spot, it's the Frontier Restaurant.
The Frontier Restaurant is a proud supporter of ProView Networks.
International Protective Services is a proud supporter of ProView Sports and New Mexico Youth Athletics. IPS provides residential and commercial security services in the Albuquerque metro area. For more info, please call 505-897-2420 or visit internationalprotectiveservice.com.
The best sports show in New Mexico.
For 5 years running. It's the OD and the AL with Jeff Symbieta and JJ Bach.
Well, it's happening, and it's not something you're going to like. We talked yesterday about Pac-12 and options and where they're going, and evidently there's a year-long plan that is now being implemented, and the Pac-12 is rebuilding, and they're up to 6, and they have poached the Mountain West, the top, what they consider the top of the Mountain West. And it's not done, but it's all going down, and I'm not sure there's anything you can do about it right now, and you're not part of it. And at least not now you're not part of it, and I'm not sure you're going to be part of it, and I'm not sure, in large respect, why. Good morning, boys and girls, and happy Thursday to you. Opening drive, Jeff Symbieta and JJ Buck. How you living?
What's up?
Lots.
Yep.
Lots. Like seismic lots. Like stuff going on in college realignment this morning and last night, like seismic, certainly for you all and us all in this part of the world. Ross Dellinger of Yahoo Sports broke the story last night that the Pac-12 is rebuilding, and this thing's happened bang, 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 or at least it feels like it's happened that way, but it's evidently talks have been going on for a year. Remember, we've had these conversations, and when former UNM athletic director Eddie Nunez was on with us, we'd say, how do you know who to trust, right? There's these backdoor calls. No, we're all together and everybody's on the same page. Well, obviously, San Diego State and Boise State, along with Fresno State and Colorado State, had their own little group text. They had their own calls with the Pac-12. And the Pac-12, according to Ross Dellinger, has mobilized, in the process of mobilizing, and from what I understand this morning, it's already happened, that Boise State, San Diego State, Fresno State, and Colorado State have applied for membership to the Pac-12 beginning in 2026-27 school year. Pac-12 Board of Directors, it's the commissioner in 2 schools, right, are going to accept it, and the Pac-12 is now 6 and are looking, they've got basically another 2 years to get up to 8 minimum, and I don't know why people think it's going to only be 8. Maybe it will be only 8. Who will the other 8, 2 teams be? Will there be more? But as we sat and had these conversations yesterday, what may happen, what could happen, and we talked about what is the top and the bottom and perceived. JJ, huge blow to the Mountain West. a huge blow to the teams left behind, and a huge blow to New Mexico and to Lobo fans. Is San Diego State, Boise State, Fresno State, Colorado State are gone. There's going to be some money coming into the league, but there's a lot of questions, and I think one of them is why not us?
And I don't know if we're going to get an answer to that. There's the football piece to it. There's the facilities piece to it. This one, it was always kind of simmering, but when it happens, it's like, dang. Yep. Because when you're on the outside looking in, it's a terrible feeling. And that's the feeling that so many programs around the Mountain West Conference are feeling right now. And it's a seismic shift. And I don't know what is the next step that will make you feel good if you're the Mountain West Conference. Because if you have these moves coming down the pipeline, there's not. Like, this is devastating to your basketball program. This is devastating to the foundation that Rich Pitino has laid. Because if he has a successful season, he's gone. He's not going to stick around to see if they Conference USA teams or somebody, or you name it. And when you had multiple programs that felt like they were finding some good consistency on the basketball court, just keeping your fingers crossed that football come along, and it was too little, too late.
I mean, there's so many things that we've got to talk about. What does the Mountain West do? Who's next for the Pac-12? Are they done poaching this league? The financial piece. Does Cal and Stanford come back? With the thoughts that the ACC is going to fall apart, and is it Cal, Stanford, and SMU? Do they want another team in the Mountain Time Zone? I mean, they got Boise State. It's Boise State and Colorado State, and then Oregon State, Washington State, Fresno State, San Diego State. That's what the Pac-12 is now. Is Cal and Stanford coming back? It makes so much more sense for them to be in that league than the ACC, does it not?
Yes. And so you immediately look at Cal and Stanford.
Mm-hmm. All right, so then they're at their minimum. Then they can do what they want to do.
Then they can do whatever they want. And with what's going on with Florida State and Clemson, and they're trying to break down all those binding contracts, and that sure Stanford and Cal are just kind of like, we're just going to see ourselves out. No one really knows we're here yet. So.
Yeah, and we're not getting a full share anyway.
We'll see you guys.
Yeah, we're going to go back. I mean, that could happen. Would SMU come with? Would that be 9? Would they go Gonzaga for basketball for 10? Right? Maybe. Does that make them a quote-unquote power conference? They think so. I'm not sure that would be recognized as such. Would that up the number in the college football playoff from the top 5 champions to top 6? So right now it's 5 champions and 7 at-larges into the playoff. What they're hoping is it would make it 6. So basically, securing them a shot. I'm not sure it would. All I know is, man, this is a blow. Now, it's not going to be cheap for the Pac-12, but they got money. Each Mountain West school, and the Mountain West has said, we are holding to the bylaws, is contractually bound to a $17 million exit fee. The Pac-12 is on the hook for an additional $10 to $12 million penalty for each school they poach. It's part of the scheduling agreement. So there's going to be about as we stand now, about $111 million. But I mean, that's great. So you got a bunch of money, and is it that much? And it's going to be divided amongst these 8 remaining schools, or 7.5, because whatever.
It's
Hawaii.
not, because do you use that to go buy schools
who?
yourself?
Who are you looking to buy?
Who's that? And what is your media rights? So I think what's interesting is how much belief there is that there's going to be more money just because you're going to say you're the Pac-12.
Right.
Because
is their television package going to be worth so much more? Because basically it's
when Oregon State and Washington State were left behind, and yet they think they're going to go out there, and these schools are going to be in a better position than they were in the Mountain West Conference. Now, it's easy to be frustrated when you're not one of those schools. I understand that. But I don't see them all of a sudden raking in $35-40 million.
They're not.
So what?
Well, okay.
What to them is better?
There's a couple of things that it's perceived. And I say they. Now, you see what I see from the fans who believe that they are so much better than this league, right? Why do we have to go to Laramie? Why are we right? They think they're like why do we have to go to Elevation?
Corvallis and Pullman are down
and I'm going to tell you, Laramie's no harder to get to than Pullman. Yes. Yeah, I mean, you're gonna go to Pullman in the middle of winter too, and it's gonna be miserable. Or you're gonna play a November game in Pullman. I've been there. All right, I love Pullman. I love Laramie. But the term I'd given you, 20 years ago was geographical arrogance. I went to San Diego State. I lived there. It's a beautiful place, but there is a geographical arrogance amongst the people there that, you beat us, but you live in Laramie. You live in Albuquerque. We don't. Okay, great, good for you. And there is. So there's a perceived that, whatever that means. They feel that they were dragged down by, and basically all the schools that they left behind. They feel, and all of them, Fresno State, Boise State, Colorado State, San Diego State, all of them, feel that they were being dragged down by New Mexico, Utah State, right? I mean, tell me where I'm wrong. You've been all these media days, right? So
I understand the fan bases.
Well, but it's not. It festers up. Right now, go look at who you're dealing with. Fresno State's the one that somewhat surprises me. Okay, but if you look at Colorado State, they've had no football success. When was the last time they had any football success? They got money, right? They got the highest paid football coach in the league, highest paid basketball coach in the league.
Money and facilities.
And they have facilities.
On their side. Fresno State.
And they have a market. They
football success.
They claim the Denver market, and there might be something to it. Right? Boise State's got that football brand, and their facilities nice. San Diego State's got the market. They've obviously got the basketball brand. Right? They've got two really good facilities for football and basketball. And they've had football success in the last 2 decades.
And again, it's official.
Yeah.
They've been
accepted.
It's on
it's on.
It's like Facebook official. They've changed their status. All these schools, right at when we hit 7.
Yeah.
Every one of those tweets went out from those Mountain West schools with their logo and the Pac-12 logo.
Yeah.
I just think it's so fascinating that they believe that logo is going to earn them so much more money.
Yeah. So now what? And look, you can ask the question, why now? What do you do? Why would the remaining 8 football? Jeff Kramer asked this question on Twitter. Why would the remaining 8 football and 7 all sports members scattered to the 4 wins when an $11 million payout is coming, and leaves them in a good position as compared to joining any other group of 5, right? And why are they scattered? Dennis Dodd says don't count Stanford and Cal out to fill out the Pac-12, and he says they're not, or don't count them in to fill the Pac-12. They're not likely to risk the legal wrath of the ACC after playing only 2 games. Well, I mean, why? He said, think UTSA, Memphis. Where did Tulane all of a sudden become so great?
They had the
2 good football seasons.
To a bowl game, beat USC.
Yeah. Dennis Dodd is saying that the remaining Mountain West schools could scatter to the 4 wins. What does that mean? Are they better off just scatter? Look, man, this is seismic today. But those schools are gone. You went to bed last night and woke up this morning. San Diego State, Fresno State, Boise State, and Colorado State are going to Pac-12. They're gone. The Pac-12 with that war chest. Yeah, I mean, they're gone.
There. The invites have been accepted, and this was definitely one last night. I finished putting our rundown together, just always like having some stories for us, just in case. And then this breaks, and I'm like, really?
Yeah.
Could have broke this story an hour earlier.
Well, all right. So get in on this because this is a big deal. This is a big deal. So what do you do? How do you feel about this? Because there's a lot of schools mentioned. New Mexico's not. I don't see them anywhere. Air Force, I don't see anywhere. Right? UNLV, I don't even see, which is the one that's surprising me.
Air Force, UNM, UNLV, Wyoming, Utah State, Nevada, San Jose State.
That's what's going to be left of the Mountain West. Basketball, man. Basketball. I you got to think football, obviously. And why are you in this position? Football. And I don't want to. Man, I know we got to take this break. How'd you get here? Why weren't you at the table? Right? former athletic director Eddie Nunez always spoke with such confidence that the league is together, and he was on a bunch of councils. But why wasn't New Mexico at the table? And you can sit here and I'm sure they're saying that in Laramie, and I'm sure they're saying that in Vegas. Why aren't we at the table? Where's our AD? Why them? Look at our market. Look at what we've got. Look what we have to offer. Look at our support. Well, look at your support. Why were you left behind, and what do you do now? We got a lot to get through today. 505-246-0610. That's how to get here. Area code 505-246-0610. Your emails come in, Jeff at sportsanimалabq.com. JJ at sportsanimалabq.com. You're on the X. It's _JJ Buck. Facebook, you can watch the show, the OD and the AM. And on Xfinity Channel 26. Jerry Palm, CBS Sports, will join us. We'll see what he knows. Coming up at 8:30 this morning. Talk to him about the reports and what he's hearing. 9 o'clock, Mario Moshe. Interesting day to have Mario, because all of a sudden I got to believe that they're thinking, hey, is there room for us in the Mountain West at New Mexico State? We talked to him about, initially the thought was having him on to talk about the money that he's asked for from state legislature to fund women's sports. But I do want to talk to him about that ask, because it's unconventional, but I actually kind of like the unconventional move. But got to get his thoughts on that as well. So that's our guest list. You're in at 505-246-0610. Holiday season just around the corner. If you're looking for that perfect party venue, I've got it for you. It's the Albuquerque Convention Center. Got every space you need for any celebration you can plan. Intimate dinners and gatherings to grand galas and socials. They've got the staff, the food and beverage options that will exceed your expectations. Your party will be an event everybody wants to be at. So check venue off your event planning list and book with Albuquerque Convention Center. Their team's got beautiful, customizable dining sets, sophisticated, extravagant food and beverage menus, and a staff that is experts at what they do. That's why we at the Isleta New Mexico Bowl hold an event there every single year. They take care of our people. I know you've been there. I know you love it. It's the Albuquerque Convention Center. Be at the center of it all and book your event at the Albuquerque Convention Center. 505-768-4575. 505-768-4575. They're online at albuquerquecc.com.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible. International Protective Services is a proud supporter of ProView Sports and New Mexico Youth Athletics. IPS provides residential and commercial security services in the Albuquerque metro area. For more info, please call 505-897-2420 or visit internationalprotectiveservice.com.
You followed him from the first day he signed with the team. You remember the day he poured in 63 points? The night he played a sold-out concert to 30,000 people. The day he gave his infamous speech. That's why you believe in heroes. That's why you remember and collect their memorabilia. All in Autographs, where you can meet some of the greats, collect some of the greats, and share your own legacy. Visit All In Autographs, where you can celebrate the great and have your own piece of history.
Well, I'm going to the frontier, walk up to the cashier, order up a root beer and a number one. Cover it with green stuff, one scoop is not enough. Find a booth is real tough, back by the Duke. Meet my family, meet my friends in the quirkiest restaurant I have ever been. All of Albuquerque's favorite spot, it's the Frontier Restaurant.
The Frontier Restaurant is a proud supporter of ProView Networks.
Seriously? You expect me to drive while you aren't wearing seatbelts?
What's the worst that can happen?
Seriously? Buckle up.
Okay. Thank you.
I'm David C. Chavez, personal injury attorney. Our law firm was founded by my father, Thibaut J. Chavez, with one goal: to get New Mexicans the help they need. That's why we built a different kind of law firm. We focus on family values, dedicated service, and we make a real contribution by giving back to our communities. We can't change what happened to you or your loved ones, but we can help you get back on the road to recovery. We're by your side, and we're still as local as Red and Green.
Don't sacrifice quality and flavor when you're in a hurry. Golden Pride offers ribs, fried chicken, red and green chili breakfast burritos, and Frontier sweet rolls. 4 great locations, or visit us online at goldenprideabq.com. Golden Pride Barbecue Chicken and Ribs are proud supporters of ProView Sports.
I'm David C. Chavez, personal injury attorney. For over 4 decades, our law firm has remained steadfast in our commitment to serving the remarkable people of New Mexico that have been injured through no fault of their own. I'm a New Mexican fighting for New Mexicans. I received my bachelor's degree at NMSU and earned my law degree at UNM. I can proudly say I'm both an Aggie and a Lobo. Call now and I will meet with you. 40 years strong, and we're still as local as Red and Green. I'm David.
We sat at Mountain West Media Day a few weeks ago, a month ago, 2 months, whenever it seems like yesterday. We talked about the stability of that league. Well, stability has been shattered this morning. It's official. I mean, literally, bang. And if you think this happened overnight, you're wrong. I mean, it feels like it did, but this has been a plan for a year. San Diego State, Colorado State, Fresno State, and Boise State have left the Mountain West and joined the Pac-12 and been accepted to the Pac-12. I mean, Boise State's president put out, there's already a press release. Boise State accepts invitation to the Pac-12 conference. They've accepted a formal invitation and been unanimously approved, which is funny to me, by the board of directors. Broncos will join the Pac-12 on July 1, 2026. And, their president said Boise State University has excelled across every metric by which we are measured, from the lab to the classroom to the field of play. We have shattered records for research awards, graduation numbers, and philanthropic giving. Our exciting trajectory, matched by the prowess of our storied athletic programs, makes this the moment to advance to the Pac-12 conference. They're gone. I mean, it's done, boys and girls. Like you go look at websites, and it's done. There's been a plan that has been going on for a year, and it is being executed now. You woke up this morning, and so, as you sit where you sit, where do you go if you're the Mountain West? Is it the Dakotas? Is it Montana? Because now you're fighting like hell to stay alive. Like, will there be we sat here and talked about, will there be a Pac-12? Will there be a Mountain West? Or is it going to get poached? Do you start looking at the American? Well, are we better off in the American? Well, do they want you? Is UTSA and Sam Houston State and North Texas better in the Mountain West, or where they are in the American? And you got to start looking, what is your league? Who wants you and where you wanted? And I think, if you're UNM right now, and this is real, boys and girls. You got an interim athletic director. David Williams is going to be put to the test right now. And JJ, this is, I say this, and this is nothing against David, but he's going to be put to the test. This is, Fresno State got in with a brand new athletic director. San Diego State's, Boise State's, and Colorado State's relatively new. I mean, he was interim for a while.
Yeah, this one for the Mountain West, you're always going to fight against the narrative that banner still held something. Like, who knew? and I just put this on social media, but I'm like, who would have thought that just hanging on to the Pac-12 logo was a golden ticket?
Well, I think a lot of people thought that, and they certainly did, and
that's the national narrative, that the Pac-12 still means something. Now, it is interesting seeing the response from the bigger talking heads or the bigger fan bases, because they're just kind of like, wasn't that just the Mountain West still? So what? Is it going to move the needle? But there's a lot of things behind the scenes that make this so much, because of all of a sudden you see the reaction from those fan bases, and they're like, and you brought it up so many times, you just described it like, yeah, we're finally moving on from the dead weight. They're not going to drag us down anymore. Right. Yeah. Like, you think you're just walking into a CFP ticket? You think you're just walking into
they absolutely do. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
We'll see how that negotiation goes.
And they're done being dragged down by the New Mexico's, Wyoming, San Jose States, Nevadas of the world. They absolutely feel that way. Text line, UNM has decided not to improve its stadium or build up the surrounding area around it to improve the fan experience. We've been fine with doing absolutely nothing, and now it's bitten us in the ass. We now face the real possibility of shrinking to New Mexico state levels or even farther. There's reasons you were left behind. This market, that university, as I sit here, and I know a lot of you sit here, feel that you should be in that group that left, not the group that left behind. Jim, good morning. You're on the Sports Animal. Hi, Jim.
Good. How you guys doing?
Good. What's up?
Well, everybody, not everybody, but I'm sure the talk will be that, where does everybody go now? You said, everybody, it goes into the wind. I mean, let's take this core that we have and build upon that. I mean, you take that North Dakota, South Dakota complex, if you will, state, North Dakota State, South Dakota State, North Dakota, South Dakota. They have good football programs, FCS, granted, but hey, that's one of those teams to beat us. Montana State, maybe even them. And heaven knows, South Dakota State's got a great basketball program. And for everyone, the rag on the Lobos of what they have and haven't done, the reality is we have a great basketball program right now, and I have a lot of faith in Bronco and what he's going to do for this program. So it might not be too long before we're looking a lot better football and football wise as well. So, I don't like the idea that those teams are leaving, but let's get our heads together and let's see what we can do and improve this conference instead of this seeing it melt away. So that's just what I think.
That's fair, Jim. No, I appreciate you. And if you're Gloria Navarez, you went to bed last night, and this was breaking last night. You're trying to figure out, how do I keep this conference together? Because Air Force. Look, Troy Calhoun's talked about wanting out of this league for a long time, right? Does the Air Force go to the American? They join Army and Navy and the American?
That makes a lot of sense.
I mean, I hate telling you that, but do they join Army and Navy and the American?
And then you look at, Conference USA, I'm sure all of a sudden they wake up this morning and they feel in a much sturdier position than they've been in, to just not be worried that all of a sudden the Mountain West can come poach their teams.
Or do they feel more like the Mountain West is going to try to poach their teams?
Yeah. And then it's a back and forth. You look, yes, you have UTEP and New Mexico State. Would they rather play this group of schools? Is it financially just kind of a push for them?
Let me ask you this. And the Americans got a lot of schools, right? I mean, a lot.
Yeah, they're up to 14.
Are they stronger with New Mexico and Air Force? I mean, I'm looking at it from their perspective, as opposed to the Mountain West trying to poach them, right? Are they stronger with Air Force in New Mexico, which is a road trip, which is travel partners? Now, Wyoming's sitting there going, wait. But I'm just looking at it from their perspective. That's UTSA and UAB and Tulsa and Tulane. And look, I don't know if somebody's going to get poached out of that. Rice, North Texas, Army, Navy, East Carolina. As a Lobo fan, where do you like this is the deal now. You're an AD. Yeah, you're on the phone with your conference ADs in the Mountain West trying to keep this together, but you're also calling your buddy, if you got a buddy who's the AD at UTSA or at South Florida or at Rice, you're going, hey, what are you guys going to do? Are you looking to go to 16? Because if so, what about, I know Air Force has been wanting, I mean, honestly, that's what's been going on in this league. This didn't happen last night. Fresno State, San Diego State, Boise State, and Colorado State didn't get on the phone last night. And by all reports, it's been going on for a year. So, Jim, your point's right. You got to try to keep this league together. But everybody right now is spinning, where do I land?
What were the contingency plans for the Mountain West? Because they had to have those conversations.
Well, I think that's right.
They had to have said, all right, are we going to be the poachers? Are we going to look at schools to make that jump football-wise, FCS to FBS? And the Dakotas are interesting, but if I'm North Dakota State, South Dakota State, Montana State, am I really that hungry?
If you want to become, if you're looking to move up to FBS. Now, look, basketball fans, we're you, right? I mean, like I look at the football and I'm like, okay, I'm concerned. Basketball, you just lost the best brand in your league. I no disrespect to New Mexico, but San Diego State played in a national championship game 2 years ago. You lost the best brand in your league.
You lost 3 NCAA tournament teams.
You lost 3 NCAA tournament teams. You can tell me UNLV won a national championship. You're right. They didn't do it in this league, but they did win a national championship in the 90s. Yeah.
What do you, outside of just the entire group, what do you think for the Mountain West kind of the most important core?
Well, okay. Here's what I think the Mountain West has got to do, and today. Okay, and today. So the 8 remaining schools, 7 all sports in Hawaii, they have got to come out with a unity statement today. You know, Gloria put out a statement last night, and look, I think Gloria is a terrific leader, and she's going to be really, really put to the test. Here's the Mountain West statement from Gloria Navarez. The Mountain West is aware of media reports regarding the potential departure of several of our member schools, and we will have more to say in the days ahead. All members will be held to the conference bylaws and policies should they elect to depart. The requirements of the scheduling agreement will apply to the Pac-12 should they admit Mountain West members. Our board of directors is meeting to determine our next steps. The Mountain West has a 25-year proud history and will continue to thrive in years ahead. Okay. The schools are gone. Should they depart? They're gone. They've changed their logos. They're gone. San Diego State, Colorado State, Fresno State, Boise State have joined the Pac-12. JJ, they got to come out with a statement today. And JJ, I'm looking even more macro, and I know we're late for this break, at New Mexico. President Stokes and David Williams have got to move now. He's your interim athletic director. He wants to be your AD. This is the position you're in, man. All right. What are you going to do? Because this university and this athletic program is literally at a fork. And is this conference going to stay together and expand? And if so, how are they going to expand and with whom? And if it's going to splinter, where are you going to end up? And you better be playing all sides right now and figure out what's best for the University of New Mexico. I mean, tell me I'm wrong.
You're not.
505-246-0610. It's the opening drive on 95.9 FM and AM 610, the Sports Animal.
This report brought to you by Quality by DiLorenzo, Lomas.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible.
I'm David C. Chavez, personal injury attorney. For over 4 decades, our law firm has remained steadfast in our commitment to serving the remarkable people of New Mexico that have been injured through no fault of their own. I'm a New Mexican fighting for New Mexicans. I received my bachelor's degree at NMSU and earned my law degree at UNM. I can proudly say I'm both an Aggie and a Lobo. Call now and I will meet with you. 40 years strong, and we're still as local as red and green.
I might not be in the cage as much anymore, just like riding a bicycle. I can pick up the fight from where I left off. I'm not some slick-haired outsider posing with borrowed gloves. I grew up here. New Mexico is in my blood. I'm a New Mexican fighting for other New Mexicans. I'm Adam Oki. I'll be your champion in the courtroom.
We've been trained, conditioned, and rewarded for doing more. But people weren't designed for all that doing. Our bodies need to settle into nothing from time to time. Into nothing at all. In a world obsessed with doing more, we invite you to undo.
Rudy's is a proud supporter of ProView Networks.
For your surprisingly great rates, contact your local State Farm agent today.
If you want the real deal, call State Farm agent Marty Size in Albuquerque today.
Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there.
International Protective Services is a proud supporter of ProView Sports and New Mexico Youth Athletics. IPS provides residential and commercial security services in the Albuquerque metro area. For more info, please call 505-897-2420 or visit internationalprotectiveservice.com. We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible. For over 20 years, Evergard Roofing and Solar has been committed to customer service. Locally owned and operated, Evergard offers both commercial and residential roofing and solar services. For more info, please call 505-821-9543. Evergard Roofing and Solar are proud supporters of ProView Sports Network and New Mexico Youth Athletics.
Hi, my name is Daniel Chavez, and this is my business partner, David Chavez. We are the owners of Indeed Safety. Indeed Safety is a local safety consulting company helping our clients with their safety needs for their projects.
One of the things we pride ourselves as a construction safety company is helping our men and women in construction get home safe every day to their families. Indeed Safety is a proud supporter of ProView Network.
Eight teams split off the WAC and formed the Mountain West Conference. And they left a bunch of teams behind. And it was BYU and Utah, Wyoming and Colorado State, Air Force, New Mexico, San Diego State, and forgetting one. Who am I forgetting? But, yeah, the original Mountain West. And it feels like this, and you're on the other side today. Mountain West took a big hit last night. And it's official this morning. San Diego State, Boise State, Colorado State, and Fresno State have left the Mountain West starting in the 2026-2027 academic year. They've joined the Pac-12, so now what? Now where do you go? I know there's some that they're hoping that, that you're going to be next. I think I do believe that if they were going to take Mountain West teams, JJ, they would take, they took the four they wanted. Are they coming back for more? Because the Pac-12 is going to need at least 8 teams. I'm reading all this stuff on the internet, and people are like, "What Texas State and UTSA and what makes Texas State and UTSA better than New Mexico and or UNLV?" Well, their TV market. Okay, but they're lost in their TV market. Tell me what makes them or North Texas, Texas State.
Yeah, the TV market has kind of become one of the most overrated things in any of these discussions. Even when it's about TV deals.
So what does Texas State,
What
North
TV
Texas,
market
or
booming?
UTSA give you that New Mexico or UNLV don't? Honestly.
And now it's what do you attack moving forward? Do you just, as the Mountain West, just disband and just try to cobble on? Do they go to those schools? And I'm really interested to see, because to your point, all right, you're making a statement, but everyone is still, their front face versus what's happening with the door closed.
Yeah. Text line, no brainer. Add the only team along the Rio Grande that's won an NCAA game and a bowl game in the last 5 years. Time to group these teams together. NMSU and UTEP belong in the Mountain West. It's from Henry. This one says Mountain West needs to take UTEP now. What does UTEP bring? What is that? What is? Okay. All right. 505-246-0610. Jay, is that what you said? Jay, good morning. You're on the Sports Animal. Hi, Jay.
Good morning, Jeff. How are you all doing today?
What's going on?
So, pretty seismic stuff going on, like the earthquake we had a couple of days ago out in Rio Rancho.
We had a little more seismic than that, I think. Yeah.
So here's something that I find very interesting, and you kind of alluded to this. I don't know if you meant to do it, but it's out there, and I think that a lot of the teams that left for the Mountain West, or left the Mountain West for the Pac-12, I'm going to say that there's a lot of television behind all this, the TV partners that are behind this. And I'm sure that before Oregon State and Washington State poached the Mountain West, they went to potential television partners and said, hey, what schools would make us more attractive? What schools will move the needle as far as money? And they gave them a list of schools, and they went, okay, these are the 4 schools we're after. Yep. So the other part of this, and I don't know how this is going to play out for the Mountain West. While the Mountain West is counting money from exit fees, who's to say that their television partners don't come to the table and say, hey, we need to renegotiate our contract with you folks? Because when they signed their TV contract, they thought they were getting those 4 schools, marquee football schools. Well, Colorado State, not a marquee football school, but certainly the Denver market, which, as you all alluded to earlier, kind of a little bit overrated, but it is a piece.
Yep.
And, you know, they're going to renegotiate that contract with the Mountain West, and they're saying, you know, what's left behind?
Well, the contract for the Mountain West
expires
next year.
Yeah,
so they're not renegotiating anything.
It all runs concurrently.
Oh, okay.
When they leave, they're staying through the end of this TV contract. And so
how convenient.
Well, yeah, that's how it works, right? And so that's why all these deadlines are when they are. That's why everything. I mean, it's not. There's no coincidence to any of this.
Right. So but that's going to put the Mountain West in a place where they're going to have to renegotiate or negotiate their next contract, and it's not going to have the same.
That's correct.
Cachet.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. And so what do you look like? So now do you go and try to expand and poach someone else? Do you feel that you're more attractive to whoever it happens to be, whether it's UTSA, North Texas, the Dakotas, whoever, or somebody else coming to you and saying, hey, we're going to part you. Like, does the AAC come to New Mexico and Air Force, for instance, or UNLV and say, come join our league? Where do you want to be?
That's the $1 million question. But and I just want to speak to something about the Dakotas and Montana schools.
Yep.
There is this rush to believe that those schools want to join the Mountain West. And if you talk to people who live in those regions, there is not this appetite to join the Mountain West Conference. They really love the idea of playing for a national championship.
Yep. Well, now they got that opportunity, though.
Playing for a berth in the Idaho Potato Bowl.
Yeah, but now there's a path to the college football playoff. Now they got to beat Alabama as opposed to beating Austin Peay.
Right.
But all right, man, I appreciate the call.
All right, thank you, guys.
Look, there's a lot. That's why I really think the Mountain West has to come out and make a statement today, don't you?
Yes.
I think David Williams at UNM, he's your interim athletic director, has to come out. A little of this is on Eddie. Why was UNM not positioned? I mean, don't you think? I'm not looking to place blame.
I think but every one of these schools is asking that exact question.
Yeah.
What was the difference? Like, why did they go versus...
Why am I not in that room? Why wasn't I on that group chat?
And the biggest concern right now is basketball to me. Like, that's on the front of my mind. Fair. You have Lobo fans, and rightfully so, talking about the basketball program, the attendance, the games that were on TV. You lost 3 marquee brands that you can't replace just like that and feel good about basketball.
I mean, are basketball, like global basketball fans saying, hey, let's try to get in the American? Does the American want you? I mean, is that the best place for New Mexico right now, do you think? Now, I don't know that Memphis and Tulane are going to stay. They may get poached and go to the Pac-12. I mean, I promise you the Pac-12's got a plan. They didn't just flip it. Yeah, they didn't just flippantly only take 4 and hope that they, and maybe Stanford and Cal isn't it. And maybe it is Memphis and Tulane. Whatever. Are you better off in that league than you are in what's there's a lot. And do they want you?
What is interesting is seeing that there's so many of these reporters that still believe there's Mountain West schools in play. But my thing would be
UNLV being the top of that list.
Yes. Why are they forcing them to show something? Or are they going to just have these schools meet up in an alley and
to your
see
point,
who wins gets to get the next invite?
Then if that's the case, if you're David Williams, you're on the phone with everybody right now. John David Wicker, J.D. Wicker at San Diego State, Jeremiah up at you're everybody, right? And the Pac-12, you're calling Teresa Gould and saying, hey, look what we're doing. Here's our plan. Here's what we bring. Like we should, we bring a lot to your conference.
So I really do, the way this has worked out, who they brought in, being at 6, of course, it's Cal and Stanford. I think are first up for them.
Yeah, but it's going to cost them to get out of the ACC. I mean, you see what's going on with the other schools that are trying to get out of the ACC, right?
Okay.
And they ran away from Boise State because
you have these Mountain West schools that are paying what in the exit fees?
Yeah, but the Pac-12 is paying that money for them.
Not all of it.
Most of it. But Cal Stanford made it very clear they don't want to be academically tied to Boise State, that they're way superior. But I think that all goes out the window too. 505-246-0610. If you've been the victim of a home or business break-in, you know all too well it takes too long for police to show up. Just they simply don't have enough officers to cover all the calls they get for service. When it's your home and it's your business, when it's you need a quicker response. How about 7 minutes or less? That's typically the response time for customers of International Protective Service. I've used IPS for years. They watch my home. They watch businesses all around the city. Now in Santa Fe, they protect what you have worked so hard to build. So who's watching your home when you're not there? Make sure it's the good guys and not the bad guys. A quick response to alarms or standing guards at your business. It's what IPS does. You will sleep better at night. I understand you can't prevent all the crime, but if you've got no protection, you're more likely to be victimized. 505-897-2420 is the number. 505-897-2420. They're online at ipsglobal.com. Passionate about making Albuquerque and Santa Fe better and safer places to live and work.
This report is sponsored by...
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible. International Protective Services is a proud supporter of ProView Sports and New Mexico Youth Athletics. IPS provides residential and commercial security services in the Albuquerque metro area. For more info, please call 505-897-2420 or visit internationalprotectiveservice.com. High school sports are back. You can watch every ProView Network broadcast online on the NFHS network. Every moment from every game from every sport, including all NMAA state championship games. Get your monthly pass now. Just go to ProViewNetworks.com, click on the NFHS logo, and sign up today. Watch New Mexico's best.
What's going on, Lobo Nation? Ja'Cory Krosky-Miller here. And I'm Devin Dampier. The Lobo football team's going through some changes, but we're here to stay. We'll put in the work on the field and in the weight room, but we'll need your help off the field. 505 Sports Venture is leading the charge in the NIL space. And you can be part of it.
You make my heart better. Try this shit better than all my intentions. Like me, sure that you got my attention. See your baby, I get you the business. Touchdown and pay you a visit.
I was born in New Mexico. I grew up on these streets. I got in trouble here, and I fought my way back in boot camp. I love New Mexico, especially the people. Now I'm using my training, tenacity, and energy to fight for you.
I'm Adam Oki, lawyer, fighter, and New Mexican. I was a local athlete here in New Mexico, so I'm proud to support your local athletes.
Hi everyone, my name is Master Sergeant Jacob Groves. I am an Air Force Special Warfare Pararescueman. Air Force Special Warfare are proud supporters of ProView Network and New Mexico Youth Sports. Air Force Special Warfare operators are critical thinkers. They maintain a high level of fitness, they take initiative, and they don't quit. For more information on Air Force Special Warfare, contact me at the number listed below.
U.S. Air Force Special Warfare are proud supporters of ProView Sports.
We fight the battles no one hears about.
We drop into the middle of firefights to rescue others.
And act as one-man air traffic control towers. We're the ones who go before all others.
U.S. Air Force Special Warfare are proud supporters of ProView Sports.
For 50 years, Clark's Pet Emporium has been your pet's favorite stop.
I am Michael Ojera, midfielder for New Mexico United. Clark's support for the United is an example of their commitment to local partnerships. Clark's understands that paying it forward develops a better team and ultimately better community partner.
When you need pet food and supplies,
Clark's is always the best shot.
Locally owned and operated with 2 convenient locations.
Go United!
ClarksPets.com.
You're drunk, blasted, intoxicated,
ripped,
plastered, destroyed, bruh. If you're like this, you shouldn't be driving.
News started last night, but if you're just joining us, Colorado State, San Diego State, Boise State, Fresno State have left, not are leaving, have left to the Mountain West. Have joined the Pac-12. This will be effective in the 2026-2027 academic year. So it's this year and next year that the Mountain West will be as currently constructed. And then what happens? Does the Mountain West stay together? Does it splinter? JJ, I'm on. I get I'm on the email list at Colorado State. I guess at some point I got a parking pass when I went up for a game, or I got some tickets or something. And so I get their mailers. So this just came down. What time is 7:10 this morning from John Weber, their athletic director. And he put out a note to Rams and Pac-12. It says, Rams, I'm writing to inform you that just moments ago, we announced that Colorado State University, along with Boise State, San Diego State, and Fresno State, have accepted an invitation to join Oregon State, Washington State in the Pac-12 Conference. This is a historic day for Colorado State that will have far-reaching impacts for our future in college athletics. The acceptance of this invitation to join and rebuild the Pac-12 membership is a catalyst for our vision of being the most watched, most loved, and most innovative program in the West. Thank you in advance for your continued support of Colorado State athletics. So, everybody's gloating right now. Text line says Colorado State is not the Denver market. Fort Collins is not Denver. Thank you. No, I get that. I understand that. It is perceived as people have gone after Colorado State that they're getting that market. And in fact, there are a lot of Colorado State alum in the Denver market. understand that it is an hour north, but that is the perception as people have gone out and pursued Colorado State, and Colorado State uses that as a tool. Hey, we bring you the Denver market. It also says the same person, Doofus Eddie did nothing here but hire losing coaches. Look at the records of all of his hires. Okay. People are gloating. This is another text. So here's my question. 7 teams for basketball does not make for an auto bid, does it? The Pac may also have harmed Mountain West hoops. Additionally, I don't think the Pac-12 will pay the exit fees for any other Mountain West Conference programs. Why would they? They have the schools they want. I think that's most likely correct. Now, the Mountain West is at 7 teams. They're not going to stay at 7 teams. They've got time now. If they stay together, they will add teams. They will have to get to the minimum, right? Just like the Pac-12's got to get to 8. The Mountain West, if they, and I understand their plan is to stay together. Gloria's got to cobble everybody together. But again, when you start looking at it, who would go where, right? JJ, as this stays together, how many schools?
Dude, quickly, the intensity in these games the next 2 years is going to be different.
Yeah.
Like you already thought the trash talking was there. Well,
yeah. No, look, no doubt. No doubt. And look, I think, with all due respect, San Diego State, in regards to basketball, now they're bringing some of the best brands, and let's see what their league looks like. Are they better off playing Oregon State and Washington State in basketball and North Texas or whoever they bring in as opposed to New Mexico? I mean, you can miss the pit a little bit.
They feel that. I guess, Aztec fans think that Corvallis and Pullman are absolute resort paradises compared to Laramie.
You've been to both or just one?
I've been to Corvallis. I've been out to Pullman.
Pullman's very Laramie-ish. I like it. But I like Laramie. Little easier to get to. You go to Spokane and drive 45 minutes instead of Denver and drive, an hour or 2 hours. The weather's, it's out there now. All right. What says you? 505-246-0610. I got a bunch of emails I got to get to as well. It's the opening drive. Jeff Symbieta, JJ Buck on a big, 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 big day on 95.9 FM and AM 610, the Sports Animal.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible.
Albuquerque's leader in sports is ProView. From pros to prep, all your favorite action. All your favorite talk shows. Find it on ProView Networks.
Hey, look! It's Dwight Goodman!
Boom! This place is hot. Let's see if anyone needs my help. How about I drive you madman home, huh?
I got this, Dwight. I'm the designated driver. Boom.
Sweet. Does anyone need Dwight's help getting home tonight?
No thanks, Romeo. I've got a taxi all lined up.
Drive safe, Dwight. Boom! Boom!
We aren't all born with the same opportunities. But it's the people who care that change everything.
Get ready, Spout, get ready!
My coach. My teacher. My older sisters.
My grandma.
My brother. My tutor. My dad and my mom.
As New Mexicans, it's up to all of us to do our part.
so that no child goes without love.
And no family has to do it all on their own.
They're all our children. Every single person is called to make a difference in the life of a child.
It's up to all of us to do our part.
To pull together.
Pull together.
Pull together.
To make New Mexico the best place to be a kid.
Hi, I'm Steve Stunker here for Dr. Robert Melendez and the Juliet Eye Institute. You may remember me like this, but no more. The glasses are gone. I tossed them months ago because of a brand new procedure from Dr. Melendez known as RLE, Refractive Lens Exchange. The latest technology, the best eyesight I've ever had in my life, and you can check it out by clicking on the link in the description right here.
If you're drunk, blasted, intoxicated, ripped, plastered, destroyed, bruh. If you're like this, you shouldn't be driving.
International Protective Services is a proud supporter of ProView Sports and New Mexico Youth Athletics. IPS provides residential and commercial security services in the Albuquerque metro area. For more info, please call 505-897-2420 or visit internationalprotectiveservice.com.
Albuquerque's leader in sports is ProView. From pros to prep, all your favorite action. All your favorite talk shows. Find it on ProView Networks.
Mexico Sportscaster of the Year, Jeff Symbieta and JJ Buck.
Well, if you're just waking up, just joining us, there's big stuff going on, boys and girls. Seismic. And I don't use that lightly. The Mountain West is facing some peril, real peril. It's a big deal. 505-246-0610. It is the opening drive on 95.9 FM. And AM 610, the Sports Animal. Jeff Symbieta, JJ Buck, on the morning where four teams who were previously, still will be in the Mountain West Conference for this year and next academic year. San Diego State, Boise State, Colorado State, and Fresno State. Fresno State's kind of the odd one, but we'll get there. Have left the Mountain West and joined the Pac-12. And what happens now? Where do you go? That it's not going to happen. It might happen. It's not reported. It has happened. All those schools have changed logos on their social media. Gone. Done. Now what happens? JJ, the Mountain West did put out a press release this morning. Did you get it? Yeah. It says IC360 and the Mountain West renew an agreement. The Mountain West Conference continues to proactively prevent integrity issues with IC360's technology.
Well, that didn't work.
Yeah.
Should have released it yesterday.
Yeah, they just put this out. The global leader in delivering best-in-class integrity and compliance RegTech products and services for the sports betting and gaming sectors. Pleased to announce the continued partnership with the Mountain West.
Read the room, Mountain West. That's not the release you wanted this morning.
Yeah, that came out this morning at 7:31. Yeah. All right, you got a lot to say. I don't know that we got a lot of answers. What happens? Where do you go? Lots on David Williams right now. He's the interim athletic director at UNM. Him and President Stokes have got to lead through this and be proactive. And what are you doing? How is this league, Gloria Navarez, as the commissioner, banding together? And what are they doing to stay together with, who will they add? Because they'll need to add at least one in non-football. Or do they splinter? Is the AAC, the American, already calling Air Force and saying, hey, come join Army and Navy where you wanted to be anyway? I mean, Troy Calhoun's made it pretty clear that's where he's wanted to be, right? he's made it clear a long time. They're at 14 teams. I mean, would New Mexico be better there? You're sending me emails, Jeff at sportsanalytics.com. Patty says, comment on the Mountain West Conference shakeup. Just wondering if Eddie Nunez had an inkling about this and why he left. Also, possibly there goes Patino to somewhere else, Bronco. Very scary news, Patty. No, I appreciate it, Patty. Yeah, I think all that. You said it already. Now, I think if Richard Patino has a winning year and is offered a bunch of money somewhere else, I think he was going to go anyway. But what's this league going to look like moving forward in basketball? I think, did you just take a huge hit in basketball? Hell yes, you did. Maurice says, did Eduardo see the writing on the wall, Jeff? How did this happen? You have the weakest governor you've ever had, the weakest school president you've ever had. Did Eduardo bail when he had a chance? Well, yeah, he left when he had a chance. He got paid, and he went to a Big 12 place that's way more stable with way more money, conference stability. They just got into a bigger conference. They're in a power league. He got paid like you would have taken it too. It's like when Alfred went to UCLA. You can't blame the guy. Now, did he know this was coming? I'd like to tell you I think he did not know. I don't know if he knew this was coming. But I think it's fair for you to say why under his leadership, why was New Mexico not positioned in a better place? Right? I think that's a fair question. Matt says, text line, Jeff, I 100% agree with the texter that said we've done absolutely nothing. Everyone sings Eddie's praises. Yeah, I'm sure he had a lot to do with cleaning up the red ink from Krebs' total dumpster fire. But what did he do progressively to move this university and program forward? I don't see any facility changes, dramatic funding improvements, or a record of massive NCAA success. Frankly, Mocha has done more with far less. Here's hoping his big move is Trojan horse to the Trojan horse Big 12 for us, because short of that, we are the same UNM now as we were 15 years ago, but without men's soccer. It's from Matt. Wow. All right. So a lot of this is coming in on Eddie right now. Those were the last three. Barry, is that what you said? Good morning, Barry. You're on the Sports Animal. Hi, Barry.
Hi. My numbers are going to be a little off, but I think you'll get the point. Around 25 years ago, the WAC had like 16 teams, and then it broke up and developed the Mountain West, and UNM went there, and New Mexico State got cast aside with the lower half of the WAC. And I remember that sick feeling that I had is, how could this happen? How could UNM not take us along or turn their back on us? And so for a long time, I had a lot of animosity toward UNM and the Mountain West, which I've overgrown, and now I root for UNM when they're not playing the Aggies. But so I understand how some of the Lobo fan base might feel right now. It's a horrible feeling. But the Mountain West, the teams that remain are still strong, and I still think it's an attractive conference, whether they look to the FCS or try to find some other FBS teams that might be willing to jump ship and join the Mountain West. And I hope they consider New Mexico State. And that's all I have to say. So thank you.
Yeah, thanks, Barry. One correction on that. New Mexico State wasn't necessarily left behind in that. They were not part of that 16-team WAC. That was, so he's right. 25, 26 years ago, there was a splintering, and there was one day, or there was a press conference, and it was that was, the teams that were left behind were like Rice, Tulsa, UTEP, San Jose State, Fresno State, TCU. Was left behind until they ultimately joined. But San Diego State, UNLV, New Mexico, Utah, BYU, Wyoming, Air Force, and Colorado State splintered off. New Mexico State was at that point, JJ, I want to say they were in the Big West. I think that's when the Big West was still playing football. But they weren't even left. They were left behind. Like they weren't even in that WAC at that point. Emails, Jeff at sportsanimalabq.com. Bronco Mercenary is gone, says Carl. Jeff, is he going to stay here to play South Dakota and Northern Arizona? I don't know. I mean, again, I don't know what your league is going to look like. Do you feel? I think this is a fair question for Lobo fan now. Are you now the arrogant fan base in this league? Like with San Diego State, Boise State, Colorado State, Fresno State gone, are you the ones who are going, well, what are we doing? Why? I mean, I'm going to ask the question. And, JJ, I don't know that the American wants them. I have no inkling. I have no information that the American is even interested. But I got to believe all of a sudden that league's going, is there anything there that makes us stronger? Especially if the American loses, and I think this is potentially real, right? Does the Pac raid them and take Tulane and Memphis to get to 8? Does the Americans say, does anybody make us stronger? And on the outer edge of that, would that be Air Force in New Mexico? And how would you feel? I'm throwing stuff at the wall right now because I honestly have no idea if that's even a possibility. I'm just looking at everything right now because as much as you say we got to keep this league together, you're going to have to protect yourself and do what's best for you. Those other 4 schools just did. They were talking unity for the last however long, right? Colorado State, San Diego State, Boise State, Fresno. Oh, we all got to stay together and do it. And they had a backroom deal and they're gone. Everybody's got to do what's best for them, right? I mean, as you look at it, what's best for New Mexico right now?
You have to be playing multiple games. It's staying together with the Mountain West Conference, having conversations with those schools. How can the conference get better? Plus approaching where your school could end up in other conferences. And everything we're talking about could be a possibility because it's always a trickle-down effect.
Mm-hmm.
There's not one move for all these schools to make. They're going to have to react to other moves.
And everybody's going to have to do what's best for themselves. So you're going to sit in a meeting with all the presidents and athletic directors in the Mountain West today and say, all right, what do? We got to stay together. We got to unite. And here's the issue. There's nobody to pay your out clause, right? There's nobody to pay your, like the Pac-12, the Oregon State, Washington State have all that money. They're paying the out clause for these teams, the exit fee, right? There's no one to pay yours. But as you sit here, are you in a better league with the 7 teams that are left, plus Hawaii and football for 8, and then adding whatever it is, whether it's North Dakota, South Dakota, North Dakota State, Montana State, maybe I don't know, and trying to poach the American, or do you feel you're better going the other way? Because it's where you are now, man. Your league just got paired. The top of it got scalped, right? And I say the top. We're the top. Okay. The 4 teams, 4 good brands, 4 good competitive programs just left. Now where are you going? What do you want David Williams and Garnett Stokes to do? Robert, good morning. You're on the Sports Animal.
Hey, how you guys doing?
Good. What's up?
Yeah, I was thinking those 4 schools are leaving are kind of making a foolish decision.
Maybe.
As far as financially, I figure they got to pay at least $17 million. Is that correct to get out?
So there's an exit fee, and JJ, I know it's on here exactly what the numbers were. So the exit fee is $17 million each, then the Pac-12's got to pay a $10 to $12 million poaching fee for each school they take. So there's about $111 million come to the Mountain West.
Okay, well, in my eyes, if they would have just sat put for another year or so, they would have joined the Pac-12 for free. With the rest of our conference, it would have just been a merger because Washington State and Oregon State were dangling out there. They were on life support. All the conference had to do was just wait, and then they would, Oregon State and Washington State would have been forced to join the Mountain West because nobody's coming after them. They kind of think that the ACC or the Big 12 is going to come and save them, but that was never going to happen. So it was kind of foolish for the 4 schools to leave because they could have just waited and then had it all without having to pay the exit fee.
Yeah.
They're not paying anything.
Yeah. I mean, it's getting paid for them. I mean, that's that war chest of money that the Pac-12 schools have left over from all the schools who left, all those bowl units, all that money that was left, all that TV money. That's who's paying the exit fee. So, and that's how the Pac-12 called the shots. The 2 teams and the commissioner. This is who they wanted. They picked who they wanted, and they've had a plan. And that's what they're doing with it. So that's where they're going, Robert. Appreciate the call, man. I don't know if you waited this out, if it would have been any better. Look, and there's some people are going.
The Mountain West schools didn't want those other schools with them.
The 4 that left.
Yes, they left for a reason, not to wait it out and for Oregon State and Washington State to come join the Mountain West. They wanted to move away from these other schools.
Yeah. 505-246-0610. Keep them coming. Jerry Palm coming up at 8:30. We'll talk to him and get his thoughts on all this. It's the opening drive on 95.9 FM and AM 610, the Sports Animal.
And there's so many great things to check out in this game and get involved with Underdog Fantasy. I'm already looking at the stat projections right now, and we're talking quarterbacks, but I love the legs of Josh Allen. Higher on his rushing total, higher on a rushing touchdown. Yes, that's what you're getting with Josh Allen. Check out Underdog Fantasy. It is fast, it's fun, and making picks on Underdog is straightforward, and signing up is even easier right now. Just head over to Underdog's simple-to-use mobile app and UnderdogFantasy.com. You can sign up with the promo code JJBuck. Use that promo code, and Underdog will give you a free pick to use on your first cash pick'em entry, plus up to $1,000 in bonus cash when you deposit. So what is a pick'em entry? You start with two players from two different teams. Let's say Josh Allen and Tua. Look at their stat projections overall. Everything from passing yards, touchdowns, completions, completion percentage. You can play Underdog however you would like. Go higher or lower, and then start building your pick'em entries from there. It's Underdog Fantasy, promo code JJBuck to claim your new customer special of a free pick and your deposit offer. And now is the time to get involved. Set yourself up for a fantastic football weekend. There's so much to do, from the NFL to baseball to college football. Underdog Fantasy has you covered. So download the app or check them out, UnderdogFantasy.com. Take a couple of minutes, just look through the stat projections, and it's going to draw you in, because it's what I do every morning. Take a couple minutes, look at the plays that I like. Must be 18 or over and present in a state where Underdog Fantasy operates. Terms apply. Concerned with your play, call 1-800-GAMBLER or visit ncpgambling.org.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible.
These days, it's important to know people and businesses you can trust. There's a lot of places where you can buy a vehicle, but there's only a few local dealerships where you'll find honest people who have your best interests in mind. And Fiesta Kia is one of them. We've been helping our neighbors save money and drive dependable cars for years, and we'd love to help you. With new Kias arriving daily, you'll love our selection and the peace of mind you'll get driving a Kia from Fiesta. So stop by and see us today at Fiesta Kia on Lomas, or just start driving now at fiestakia.com.
Hi, I'm Steve Stucker here for Dr. Robert Melendez and the Juliet Eye Institute. You may remember me like this, but no more. The glasses are gone. I tossed them months ago because of a brand new procedure from Dr. Melendez known as RLE, Refractive Lens Exchange. The latest technology, the best eyesight I've ever had in my life, and you can check it out by clicking on the link in the description right here.
What's going on? Who are you guys?
Well, sir, I'm going to pick you up at the DWI checkpoint for drunk driving.
And that's when I have to come down to get you out of jail.
Well, temporarily. I'm Judge Torres. They call him the Hammer. Hey, hot off the presses, champ.
I'm real proud of you, honey.
Way to make them happy back home, Captain. Who's that? That's your new buddy in jail.
It's Dwight Goodman! Boom! This place is hot. Let's see if anyone needs my help. How about I drive you madman home, huh?
I got this, Dwight. I'm the designated driver. Boom.
Sweet. Does anyone need Dwight's help getting home tonight?
No thanks, Romeo. I've got a taxi all lined up.
Drive safe, Dwight.
Boom! Boom!
Young driver, this one. Hard to get her out. She'd been drinking. This one. Both of them gone. They'd been drinking, and he drove clear off the road. This was my family. Drunk driver hit us. And my wife and our daughter, they didn't make it.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible.
Albuquerque's leader in sports is ProView. From pros to prep, all your favorite action. All your favorite talk shows. Find it on ProView Networks.
Well, I'm going to the frontier, walking to the cashier, order up a root beer and a number one. Cover it with green stuff, one scoop is not enough. Find a booth is real tough, back by the Duke. Meet my family, meet my friends in the quirkiest restaurant I have ever been. All of Albuquerque's favorite spot, it's the Frontier Restaurant.
The Frontier Restaurant is a proud supporter of ProView Networks.
I'm David C. Chavez, personal injury attorney. Our law firm was founded by my father, Thibaut J. Chavez, with one goal: to get New Mexicans the help they need. That's why we built a different kind of law firm. We focus on family values, dedicated service, and we make a real contribution by giving back to our communities. We can't change what happened to you or your loved ones, but we can help you get back on the road to recovery. We're by your side, and we're still as local as red and green.
Don't sacrifice quality and flavor when you're in a hurry. Golden Pride offers ribs, fried chicken, red and green chili breakfast burritos, and Frontier sweet rolls. 4 great locations, or visit us online at goldenprideabq.com. Golden Pride Barbecue Chicken and Ribs are proud supporters of ProView Sports.
San Diego State, Colorado State, Boise State, Fresno State are now members of the Pac-12 starting in 2026, the fall, July 1. They've left the Mountain West. What now of the Mountain West? What happens? What do the Lobos do? We're going to talk with Mario Mocha, New Mexico State's athletic director. He was already scheduled this morning. We're going to talk to him about the funding that he's asked for from the state legislature for women's sports moving forward with the change and everything that's going on. But obviously, they got to be looking and going, hey, is this our opportunity to get in the Mountain West? At a conference series? Like, everybody's looking now, right? I mean, I got to, does UTEP and New Mexico State think we're better off at the Mountain West? Does the Mountain West look at them? They've been looking, do they look at the Dakotas, Montanas? They try to go into Texas, or do those schools splinter? You're a Lobo fan. What do you want to see New Mexico do now? I know you want them to get in that Pac-12, and you're still banging on that door. But I got to believe if that was going to happen, it would have happened. I don't know that there's going to be a second bite at the apple. Maybe UNLV, maybe New Mexico. You better be banging on the door, though. Sid says this started in 1980, Mr. Symbieta. 1980, the athletic director, John Bridgers, signed the most prestigious home-and-home in the history of Lobo athletics with Tennessee. Lobo football would play at Bernard King Gym in 1983, and the Vols would travel to Albuquerque in 86 under 2 conditions. They were paid $150,000, and Dumpy Old University Stadium had to be renovated to modern standards. I know you aren't going to believe this, but Lobo athletics was broke in 1980, so renovation had to be put off. Flash forward to fall of 85, Lobo athletics is still broke, and there hasn't been a single shovel put in the ground at University Stadium. So Bridgers went to main campus asking for a down payment money so they could at least start the work and he gets laughed out of the building. Already owning main campus, almost $1 million, he wasn't getting another penny. Then Tennessee sends a lifeline. Not only do they agree to forgive the $150,000 they're owed, but they give Lobo athletics another $420,000 plus in badly needed liquidity if they move the game to Knoxville. Lobo football playing a home game 1,000 miles away was one of the biggest, if not biggest, redistribution of wealth in the history of college athletics up to that point in 1986, but the problems with University Stadium remained, and we're still here 40 years later. Part of why you got left behind, part of it, I'm not telling you the whole reason. Yeah, part of it's the facility, part of it's that stadium, but I mean, look, your football team, with all due respect, and you're going to say, what has Colorado State done over the last 2 decades? They've been competitive in football. They haven't been great. But Fresno State, Boise State, San Diego State have been the class of this league in football, right? Fresno State hasn't been competitive basketball, but the other three have. San Diego State's gone to the national championship game. So, Lobo Hobo says stay at 8, Jeff. For decades, the WAC had 8 clubs, and it worked great for men's basketball and footy. You had travel partners. I don't understand the panic to have 50 squads in your league. You have to have at least 8, and they don't have 8 in basketball. They have 8 in football. Hawaii, and they're not going to make Hawaii a full-time member for all the other sports. 505-246-0610. This is on the text line. Sorry, NMSU, you bring nothing but scandals in an absolutely tiny, non-existent TV market. No to you. Next. Funny how Aggie fan is thinking this is some big opportunity now for them. LOL, it's not. I guarantee they are not even being considered. Stop dreaming, NMSU. Okay. I just read them. NMSU was in the Sun Belt when the Mountain West came online. Yeah, okay. And that sounds right, too. I couldn't remember if they were in the Big West or the Sun Belt. No. Where do you want to see them? What, like, if you now what? I know you want to see them. Why CSU over UNLV is a head scratcher, this one says. Why not UNLV is a little bit of a head scratcher to me. Do I have time for this? All right, Sean, good morning. Oh, that's the wrong one. Hello, Sean. Good. What's up?
Hey, guys, how's it going?
Good, what's up?
It's interesting. I mean, yeah, it's a bummer when your conference gets rated, but I mean, when you look at the Mountain West Conference, they did the same thing to the WAC back in the day. So it's like it becomes cyclical. Who knows? Maybe New Mexico can get in, but I do know that they have one of the lower budgets in the league, and so I think you have to have deeper pockets if you want to have a shot at the Pac-12. It's kind of the same argument, why can't NMSU be in the Mountain West Conference? They don't have enough money. I think it's going to be the same argument for New Mexico, but I don't know. That's all I got. Thanks, guys.
All right, I appreciate you. All right, coming up next, Jerry Palm, CBS Sports, is going to join us. I'm going to talk to him about this and where it goes and what he's hearing, and certainly get into some of the football from last weekend and moving forward. It's the opening drive. Jerry Palm next on 95.9 FM and AM 610, the Sports Animal.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible.
You followed him from the first day he signed with the team. You remember the day he poured in 63 points? The night he played a sold-out concert to 30,000 people. The day he gave his infamous speech. That's why you believe in heroes. That's why you remember and collect their memorabilia. All in Autographs, where you can meet some of the greats, collect some of the greats, and share your own legacy. Visit All In Autographs, where you can celebrate the great and have your own piece of history.
I'm David C. Chavis, personal injury attorney. For over 4 decades, our law firm has remained steadfast in our commitment to serving the remarkable people of New Mexico that have been injured through no fault of their own. I'm a New Mexican fighting for New Mexicans. I received my bachelor's degree at NMSU and earned my law degree at UNM. I can proudly say I'm both an Aggie and a Lobo. Call now and I will meet with you. 40 years strong, and we're still as local as red and green.
International Protective Services is a proud supporter of ProView Sports and New Mexico Youth Athletics. IPS provides residential and commercial security services in the Albuquerque metro area. For more info, please call 505-897-2420 or visit internationalprotectiveservice.com.
I'm David C. Chavis, personal injury attorney. For over 4 decades, our law firm has remained steadfast in our commitment to serving the remarkable people of New Mexico that have been injured through no fault of their own. I'm a New Mexican fighting for New Mexicans. I received my bachelor's degree at NMSU and earned my law degree at UNM. I can proudly say I'm both an Aggie and a Lobo. Call now and I will meet with you. 40 years strong, and we're still as local as red and green.
For doing more. But people weren't designed for all that doing. Our bodies need to settle into nothing from time to time. Into nothing at all. In a world obsessed with doing more, we invite you to undo.
Rudy's is a proud supporter of ProView Networks.
Well, a lot of comment from you today, and it's a pretty big day. Seismic shift certainly around these parts. News this morning came out last night. Yahoo Sports broke Ross Dellinger. 4 teams have left the Mountain West, and it became official this morning, and they all changed their logos. They've all put out statements. San Diego State, Colorado State, Boise State, Fresno State, joining the Pac-12, which is now 6 members, starting in the 2026-2027 academic year. Now what's next? What does it mean? What's next for the Pac? What's next for the Mountain West? Will there be a Mountain West? Do they poach? Do they get poached and splinter? To have that conversation, see what Jerry Palm knows. He of CBS Sports. He joins us this morning. Good day, sir. It's a pretty big day around here. How you living?
I'm doing all right. Yeah, I was telling JJ, I said I wasn't sure if you were going to call because nothing's really going on.
Goodness gracious. All right, so let's just, the news is the news. Who's next for the Pac-12? There's talk about, Stanford and Cal coming back. It's going to a lot of money to get out of the ACC, and we've already seen what it means for Florida State and Clemson to get out. Is it Tulane, Memphis? Is there more Mountain West? Like they've got to get to at least 8. Where do they go?
Yeah, that's a good question. Obviously, there's a lot of options. Stanford and Cal would be the best in terms of fit. The problem is that ACC grant of rights is nuts. So, and even if the ACC is like, you know what, we're really better off without them because it's crazy. Yeah. They can't set a precedent by letting them off easy because otherwise,
they lose
Clemson and Florida State are in court the next day. That's right. Assuming their grant of rights is the same as everyone else's, I don't know how Stanford and Cal get out of it.
Do they have a case because they're not getting a full share? Right, they went in and said we're not getting our full share of revenue, so we got. I don't know. I'm not a lawyer here. I don't. Maybe they would have.
I'm not either, and I certainly don't know what the contract says, even if I am a lawyer. Right. So, but yeah, if they've got an out of any kind, then that would be the best for the Pac-12.
All right, if not,
to get those 2.
And if not,
otherwise, they're going to settle in some way for something that's not as good a fit. You mentioned Tulane and Memphis. Memphis has been trying to get into a power conference, practically begging to get into shamelessly trying to get into a power conference from the beginning of all of this movement, and for whatever reason, they never get chosen. Do they want to be in the Pac-12? Are they that, desperate to be, playing teams that are 2 time zones away?
Yeah.
I assume that's Central Time, Memphis.
Yeah.
Tulane is, Central Time. I mean, Texas San Antonio would be.
All right, help me here.
closer.
Help me. So you got to help me with this. I hear UTSA, North Texas, Texas State. What makes UTSA, aside from the TV market, which I think is now overblown, what makes them more attractive than the UNLV or New Mexico?
I don't know that anything makes them more attractive than UNLV or New Mexico. And I guess I should not just assume that there are other Mountain West programs that could still be in play. But you would think if they were, they would have been part of this.
Right.
Right. And a lot of these teams that we just talked about are also options for the Mountain West if they want to go back beyond 8. I mean, 8's the minimum. They don't have to add. They don't have to add teams to remain viable as a conference.
What if I ask you this? What's more viable as you sit here today? The Mountain West stays together, and whether they go to the Dakotas or to Texas or wherever, or the Mountain West schools splinter. Like if you're the American right now, and there's a chance because you got to think, okay, am I losing Tulsa and Memphis? I'm sorry, Tulane and Memphis. Does New Mexico and Air Force look attractive to you?
That's an excellent question. I don't know. I mean, you're adding teams that are kind of far away, kind of. Yeah,
you're already in Texas.
Not as distant from the further reaches of that. That conference is pretty spread out to some degree anyway. I even heard South Florida for the Pac-12, but I thought that would be nuts.
Come on.
It's one thing to do something like that in a major conference where you get paid pretty well, for TV, but to do that for the Mountain West or the Pac-12, that'd be crazy for South Florida. But anyway, I heard that name thrown around.
Jerry.
I just think that the Mountain West will stay together, whether it's 8 or they add a couple.
They got to add somebody because they're only
poached. The American Western schools, westernmost schools, could end up getting poached.
Yeah. They got to add because they're only at 7 in non-football sports. Hawaii's 8, but that's in football. So they've got to. They've got to add. Jerry Palm from CBS Sports is with us here on the Sports Animal.
Jerry, just the foundation of the new Pac-12. What are your thoughts on those schools together?
Well, I think that they're a good fit. I wonder if the new Pac-12, if they're out looking for 2 more schools with state on the end of their name.
Because they all have them.
But yeah, I think they're a good fit. I mean, you're talking about the 3 best football programs in the Mountain West, without question.
That's right.
In Boise, Fresno, and San Diego State. Those are the Mountain West championship game started in 2013, and 9 of the 11 championships have been won by one of those 3 teams. So, that's definitely the power of the football part of the conference. So if that's the focus, is power, is good football, then, a team like Memphis might be more attractive. But, what the Mountain West is going to do, you're right, they have to add somebody for an 8. I'd forgotten about Hawaii being football only. Maybe they get convince Hawaii to be all sports.
I just don't think they want to take that travel. No, I don't think they want to take on that travel for volleyball.
Yeah. I mean, that's the thing is, Hawaii's travel is for everybody else is kind of crazy, and it's crazy for them too. But they, no matter what league they're in, they're traveling.
Yeah, but the Big West helps them financially with that.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, I don't know what the right answer is. There's a lot of speculation. And there will be a lot of speculation until somebody actually does something.
Well, I think everybody's got to be moving right now. Like if you're the Mountain West and Gloria Navarez, you got to gather you got to say something this morning, and there's got to be
probably already got contingency plan.
And I hope so.
And she, by the way, she's a tremendous administrator.
Agreed.
I mean, the Mountain West could not have a better person for this situation because she's a really good administrator.
But if you're an AD in this league,
it's a tough problem.
Well, you're an AD sitting. I mean, let's just say where we're sitting at New Mexico. Like you're in on that meeting, and they've got an interim athletic director right now. We're Unity. We got to go, and whether our plan is to go to the Dakotas or go to Texas or wherever. But by the same,
you're talking about people moving up
100%. Right. But by the same token, are you calling your buddy at Pick Your American School and saying, "Hey, so what are you guys thinking?" I mean, you got to cover every one of your bases, don't you?
You do. You absolutely do.
Yeah.
You've got to. I assume the Pac-12 is not going to poach any more from the Mountain West, or they would have already done it.
That's most of our feel. UNLV. I'm surprised UNLV got left out. And people around here are upset New Mexico got left out. I think New Mexico would add something. I think it's a good market. I think football was the issue. Football was the issue. It's a great basketball
because
market.
they're just not good enough.
They have not been.
Yeah. But not that Colorado State's been all that great lately.
Yeah, but they got it. They got a brand new facility. They got money. They've invested in athletics. They've got the highest paid football coach in the league, highest paid basketball coach in the league. They went out and proved their investment, and that's one thing New Mexico has. All right, Jerry Palm from CBS Sports is with us. You want to talk a little like something that happened on the field? I don't know.
What? No, I mean they're still playing games.
All right, Jay just got one for you.
Well, Jerry, as we talk about these schools leaving the Mountain West to try to not be a group of five, we saw Northern Illinois beat Notre Dame. What do you think about the group of five leaders in the clubhouse right now in that victory for NIU?
Well, I mean, I guess Northern, would have to be part of that, right? But they have to go out and win the league, and they weren't favored to win the league. That's Toledo and Miami were the two favorites in the league, but obviously a tremendous win for Northern Illinois, which always does my heart happy. First of all, when Notre Dame loses, and secondly, I grew up around Chicago, so I always have had a soft spot for the MAC in general, but Northern in particular. So that was a huge win for them. Their coach is a legendary player at Northern Illinois. Just the emotion for him. But now they've got to strap it on and get ready this week. They can't give that away. And especially they've got to be a conference champion. But if they're undefeated. And
what if they're once defeated?
The MAC, obviously, and they've beaten Notre Dame, and Notre Dame doesn't completely fall apart, which also wouldn't bother me. Then they'd have to be a contender for that spot for sure.
What if they're once? Let's say they lose to North Carolina State and run the table in the MAC. Is that more attractive than? I mean, Boise State's one loss would be at Oregon. I mean, that would have to make them more attractive than Boise State, wouldn't it? They would
maybe because Boise State wouldn't have a win of the caliber of Notre Dame, assuming, like I said, Notre Dame doesn't end up 6-6 or something, right? Big game at Purdue this week for Notre Dame and for Purdue as well. But what kind of a bounce back are we going to see from Notre Dame? Because they've got some problems that weren't just Saturday. They have a young offensive line. They have struggled in the passing game. Riley Leonard, the transfer from Duke, has been a better runner than a passer in both games so far. They played better defensively, I thought, against Texas A&M, but their defense wasn't bad against Northern Illinois either. They just, I think they're susceptible to the run a little bit, which doesn't necessarily play into Purdue's strengths. But anyways, it's Notre Dame is not their schedule gives them a chance to put up a big number of wins because they should be better than most of the teams they play, but they were better than the team they played last week and didn't win. So, they've got to fix some things and tighten some things up before they get into some of the better teams on their schedule, like maybe Florida State and for sure USC.
Texas's statement, that was pretty resounding. Winning at the Big House.
Indeed, yeah. Although I can't say I'm surprised, just because that's my lack of surprise is more about how I felt about Michigan than I did Texas.
Yeah.
I just feel like Michigan's going to take a step back this year. Texas is going to be really good, a contender for the national title, and I don't think Michigan is a contender for the Big Ten title. They're not going to be terrible by any means, but I just didn't feel like they were good enough to play a team like Texas, even at home, in a competitive way. It's just I just don't have that feeling about Michigan this year. And I guess that got confirmed as well. But Texas is outstanding. They're in this thing to go, and they get Georgia at home in the regular season. And my prediction for that league was that Texas would win that game, but Georgia would win the rematch in the championship game.
Yeah. All right. Enjoy the weekend. You're going to Purdue, Notre Dame, I would assume.
Mm-hmm.
Enjoy it.
Home game. And I'm at all the Purdue home games.
Yeah. Right.
I'm at Oregon State next week, so that should be fun.
You're going up there?
Yep.
You ever been up
Purdue's
there?
up there next week, so we're going to go. I've never been to Oregon at all, the state, so we're going to go.
Yeah, that's a good one. Yeah. JJ's
That
called the game.
should be a good game.
Yeah, you'll like that. JJ called the game there last year, right?
It's years ago in Corvallis, yeah.
Yeah. And actually, they did really good things with that stadium up there, so you'll enjoy that. All right, we'll catch you on Thursday. Enjoy the weekend. Read them every day over on CBSSports.com. Follow him on the X. It's, what is it, JP Palm? CBS? Yeah, JP Palm, CBS. I believe you've been doing this for, 16 years with you. Be well, my friend. Appreciate the time.
All right, thanks.
Take care. Jerry Palm from CBS Sports. He's like the rest of us. I mean, this could happen or that could happen or I don't know what's going to happen, right? I mean, he's like the rest of us right now. I don't know. Mario Moch has probably got some interest in this. He's the athletic director at New Mexico State. He is scheduled to be with us coming up at 9 o'clock. We're going to talk to him about, well, all of it and his request to the legislature for money and to help pay for women's athletics at New Mexico State University. So we'll do that coming up at 9 o'clock this morning. Hey, Balloon Fiesta's coming. Got family coming to town. Get your car cleaned before all the chaos. Call my friends at On the Spot Automotive Detailing. They'll help you get your car looking like new. You don't have the time, you tell me. I got it. None of us do. What if I told you don't need the time? They come to you where it works for you, when it works for you. So you're working. I can't take it somewhere. They're out in the parking lot working at your office or at your house in the driveway. When they're done, your car looks and feels and smells like the day you took it off the lot. They are the best in the city. We're voted that because they earned it. And it's more than just detailing. Ceramic coating, paint protection film. You can maintain your car and keep it looking new. No more water, dirt, and mud stains. They've got a protective layering that helps prevent UV oxidation damage from the intense New Mexico sun, and they've got a lifetime warranty available. I love when they come and detail my car. You will as well. And it's a great gift as you start thinking about gifting season. On the Spot Automotive Detailing, 505-859-2859. 505-859-2859. They're online at otsdetailing.com.
This report is...
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible. We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible. For over 20 years, Evergard Roofing and Solar has been committed to customer service. Locally owned and operated, Evergard offers both commercial and residential roofing and solar services. For more info, please call 505-821-9543. Evergard Roofing and Solar are proud supporters of ProView Sports Network and New Mexico Youth Athletics.
I might not be in the cage as much anymore. Just like riding a bicycle, I can pick up the fight from where I left off. I'm not some slick-haired outsider posing with borrowed gloves. I grew up here. New Mexico is in my blood. I'm a New Mexican fighting for other New Mexicans. I'm Adam Oki. I'll be your champion in the courtroom.
Hi, my name is Daniel Chavez, and this is my business partner, David Chavez. We are the owners of Indeed Safety. Indeed Safety is a local safety consulting company helping our clients with their safety needs for their projects.
One of the things we pride ourselves as a construction safety company is helping our men and women in construction get home safe every day to their families. Indeed Safety is a proud supporter of ProView Network.
ProView Networks would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible. Hans Whitler Automotive, German car maintenance and repair in Albuquerque, New Mexico. Call 505-294-7684 or visit HansWhitlerAuto.com.
Got shots? Got shots? got shots?
During Got Shots, participating providers open their doors for any child who presents for immunizations, regardless of whether they are a patient or whether they have insurance.
I'm David C. Chavez, personal injury attorney. For over 4 decades, our law firm has remained steadfast in our commitment to serving the remarkable people of New Mexico that have been injured through no fault of their own. I'm a New Mexican fighting for New Mexicans. I received my bachelor's degree at NMSU and earned my law degree at UNM. I can proudly say I'm both an Aggie and a Lobo. Call now and I will meet with you. 40 years strong, and we're still as local as red and green.
TurboThreads is a proud sponsor of ProView Networks.
Almost 30 years of experience means fast service, great prices, and a wide selection of apparel from t-shirts to performance sports shirts, even jackets and hats. They feature low minimums and no setup charges on most orders. TurboThreads is located at 1503 Golf Course Road in Rio Rancho, or find them on Facebook, online at turbothreads.com, or call 999-1234 for TurboThreads.
A burglary takes place in the United States approximately every 15 seconds. International Protective Service is your answer for commercial and residential security in all of Albuquerque. IPS will work with your monitoring company for fast, reliable response times. You can rest easy knowing you, your family, or your company is watched over by International Protective Service. Call International Protective Service today.
Your surprisingly great rates? Contact your local State Farm agent today.
If you want the real deal, call State Farm agent Marty Size in Albuquerque today.
Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there.
Don't sacrifice quality and flavor when you're in a hurry. Golden Pride offers ribs, fried chicken, red and green chili breakfast burritos, and Frontier sweet rolls. 4 great locations, or visit us online at goldenprideabq.com. Golden Pride Barbecue Chicken and Ribs are proud supporters of ProView Sports.
We aren't all born with the same opportunities. But it's the people who care that change everything.
Get ready, Sprout, get ready!
My coach. My teacher. My older sisters. My grandma. My brother. My tutor. My dad and my mom.
As New Mexicans, it's up to all of us to do our part.
So that no child goes without love.
And no family has to do it all on their own.
They're all our children. Every single person is called to make a difference in the life of a child.
It's up to all of us to do our part.
To pull together.
Pull together.
Pull together.
To make New Mexico the best place to be a kid.
Had a request out to David Williams to see if the interim athletic director at UNM's got some time this morning to talk about what's going on. Obviously, a lot going on there. Got to believe he's pretty busy. I'm hoping to hear something out of the league. I haven't seen much on the Twitter in the last little bit of you in regards to alignment. Just waking up, just joining us, just having your coffee. San Diego State, Colorado State, Fresno State, and Boise State have left the Mountain West. Not are leaving, not are. There's room. They have left. They have joined the Pac-12. So there are 6 teams in the Pac-12 right now. They've all put out their statements, and so where do you go? What do you want to happen next for New Mexico? Where does New Mexico go? What do they do? And what does the Mountain West do? And does it, now you're the league, like the league that's been stable for a decade, that hasn't had any movement. Now you're the league that's on the teeter right now, right? It was the Pac-12. It feels like they're putting themselves back together, and it feels like they're going to get teams, schools. They obviously have a plan. They want to join them. Now what? Now what? Jason says the Mountain West is looking very whack. Good morning, OD. Today's a day when programs start understanding their worth. Edward once said something that stuck to me that applies to this situation. What you get on the open market determines your worth. He was speaking about NFL free agency. But this can also be applied to conference realignment. Lobo fan who thought a conference will take us because of ... are finding out the Pac-12 would not take you because they didn't want you. Very simple. Whatever that ... is was not good enough. So Lobo fan, you paid a lot of money for coaches. Can UNM pay those salaries? Will coaches stick around? Lobo fan, you are here because this is what you wanted. Let's be honest. You've known for 10 plus years that football drives the bus, facilities, success, fan attendance, Saturday revenue. But yet you put all of your resources into basketball, which, by the way, has led to one NCAA tournament appearance in 10 years. The irony of this is the Mountain West Conference starts looking very big West Eastish when UNLV, New Mexico State, and Utah State left that conference. Lobo fan has just received a lesson in how much people nationally really care about UNM. Here's the reality. If Air Force leaves for the American, the Mountain West becomes a conference on par with the Sun Belt Conference USA, and more importantly, to basketball fan, possibly a one big league. Looking forward to facing off against a Pac-12 opponent this weekend, Crimson Elite Jason. P.S. Why would New Mexico State want the Mountain West? They're in a stable conference with similarly budgeted programs. No thank you to the MWC. It's very interesting. Mario Mocha is going to be with us next. He was already on the schedule for today to talk about the requests he's making to the New Mexico legislature in regards to helping fund the women's programs down there. Obviously, we'll get into the conference stuff as well. Talk to New Mexico State's athletic director, Mario Mocha, next. It's the opening drive on a big day on 95.9 FM and AM 610, the Sports Animal.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible. TurboThreads is a proud sponsor of ProView Networks.
Almost 30 years of experience means fast service, great prices, and a wide selection of apparel from t-shirts to performance sport shirts, even jackets and hats. They feature low minimums and no setup charges on most orders. TurboThreads is located at 1503 Golf Course Road in Rio Rancho, or find them on Facebook, online at turbothreads.com, or call 999-1234 for TurboThreads.
High school sports are back. You can watch every ProView Network broadcast online on the NFHS network. Every moment from every game from every sport, including all NMAA state championship games. Get your monthly pass now. Just go to ProViewNetworks.com, click on the NFHS logo, and sign up today. Watch New Mexico's best.
What's going on, Lobo Nation? Ja'Cory Krosky-Mir here. And I'm Devin Dampier. The Lobo football team is going through some changes, but we're here to stay. We'll put in the work on the field and in the weight room, but we'll need your help off the field. 505 Sports Venture is leading the charge in the NIL space. And you can be part of it. You make my heart better. Try this shit better than all my intentions. Like me, sure that you got my attention. See your baby, I get you the business. Touchdown and pay you a visit.
I was born in New Mexico. I grew up on these streets. I got in trouble here, and I fought my way back in boot camp. I love New Mexico, especially the people. Now I'm using my training, tenacity, and energy to fight for you. I'm Adam Oki, lawyer, fighter, and New Mexican. I was a local athlete here in New Mexico, so I'm proud to support your local athletes.
Hi everyone, my name is Master Sergeant Jacob Groves. I am an Air Force Special Warfare Pararescueman. Air Force Special Warfare are proud supporters of ProView Network and New Mexico Youth Sports. Air Force Special Warfare operators are critical thinkers. They maintain a high level of fitness, they take initiative, and they don't quit. For more information on Air Force Special Warfare, contact me at the number listed below.
U.S. Air Force Special Warfare are proud supporters of ProView Sports.
We fight the battles no one hears about.
We drop into the middle of firefights to rescue others.
And act as one-man air traffic control towers. We're the ones who go before all others.
U.S. Air Force Special Warfare are proud supporters of ProView Sports.
For 50 years, Clark's Pet Emporium has been your pet's favorite stop.
I am Michael Azera, midfielder for New Mexico United. Clark's support for the United is an example of their commitment to local partnerships. Clark's understands that paying it forward develops a better team and ultimately better community partner.
When you need pet food and supplies,
Clark's is always the best shot.
Locally owned and operated with 2 convenient locations.
Go United!
ClarksPets.com.
International Protective Services is a proud supporter of ProView Sports and New Mexico Youth Athletics. IPS provides residential and commercial security services in the Albuquerque metro area. For more info, please call 505-897-2420 or visit internationalprotectiveservice.com.
Hi, my name is Daniel Chavez, and this is my business partner, David Chavez. We are the owners of Indeed Safety. Indeed Safety is a local safety consulting company helping our clients with their safety needs for their projects.
One of the things we pride ourselves as a construction safety company is helping our men and women in construction get home safe every day to their families. Indeed Safety is a proud supporter of ProView Network.
Young driver, this one. Hard to get her out. She'd been drinking. This one. Both of them gone. They'd been drinking, and he drove clear off the road. This was my family. Drunk driver hit us. And my wife and our daughter, they didn't make it.
If you're drunk, blasted, intoxicated, ripped, plastered, taint, destroyed, bruh. If you're like this, you shouldn't be driving.
Well, I'm going to the frontier, walking to the cashier, order up a root beer and a number 1.
5 years running. It's the OD in the AM with 3-time New Mexico Sportscaster of the Year, Jeff Symbieta and JJ Bob.
Well, huge conference news came out, broke last night, became all official this morning. And 4 teams have left the Mountain West Conference this morning to join the Pac-12. San Diego State, Boise State, Colorado State, and Fresno State. Not going to happen, not might happen, did happen this morning. Did put out a note to the interim athletic director at UNM, Dave Williams. He's on a conference call, JJ, from 9 to 10, so that he's got to be on. So we'll try to get with David tomorrow and see, where UNM goes with this. But this is going to have obviously tentacle effects, trickle-down effects everywhere. And I don't know how it affects New Mexico State, if it does at all. And their athletic director, Mario Mocha, was scheduled to be with us this morning previously anyway. We're going to talk about the request that he's making to legislature for some money to help fund women's sports. And then this news broke, so and we'll have a conversation with the athletic director at New Mexico State University, Mario Mocha, who joins us this morning. Good day, sir. How you living?
Well, Jeff, I haven't been on for a while, and it's an interesting morning to be on.
Your reaction, I mean, you're kind of sitting on the outside, but, I mean, are you on how does this affect New Mexico State, if at all, in regards to the news that came down this morning in regards to the Pac-12 Mountain West? Well,
I was surprised it happened that fast. I actually got a phone call last night indicating that this could happen, and I thought, I don't know if it happened that fast, and then it did. So, look, I think a lot of people are familiar with our situation, but, we've been, in the WAC, we've been in the Sun Belt, and then as affiliate member of the Sun Belt for 4 years, right, 2014, 15, 16, and 17. And then, they decided to remain a 10-team league, so Idaho and New Mexico State were out. We went the independent route of FBS. Idaho went to FCS. And then, we've kind of felt like we got a lifeline when Conference USA offered us a spot. And, I think we did really well in the first year, certainly in football, playing in that conference championship game. And, we're just starting our second year. So, we've been happy. I heard you earlier, and I don't know if it was a caller or an email, was very astute by saying, we're in schools with like budgets in a conference. Obviously, Liberty is an outlier. I think they have closer to a P4 budget than any of us in Conference USA. But they are similar from that standpoint. Now, the travel definitely is different from when we were in the Western Athletic Conference with our sports, because we're going to Lynchburg, Virginia, and Miami, Florida, and soon Springfield, Missouri, and Delaware, and Atlanta, Georgia with Kennesaw State. So the travel has been, different from a budgetary standpoint.
Would you say New Mexico State's happy in Conference USA, but would listen if opportunities come up? Would you be aggressive in pursuing something in the Mountain West? I know you got to be careful because you're a member of a conference, but I understand where you are, and I think Conference USA is a really good fit, certainly from budgetary. Where would you be listening? Would you be aggressive? How would you look at the whole situation?
Jeff, I'm looking at on my little trinkets thing that I have in my office that you've been in, the champagne cork from when we officially joined Conference USA, and we signed it and we put a little date on it. So we're ecstatic, but I don't know if there's any school in the country, maybe outside of the Big Ten and the
Michigan and Texas,
and the SEC, that would say, hey, we wouldn't listen to something. I mean, look, you have a fiduciary responsibility to the school. I don't think almost an OAD would say, no, we're never going to listen to anything. With that said, we are unbelievably ecstatic. We felt, that independent football was not sustainable for the long term. And you see even UMass, joining the Mid-America Conference again. So other than UConn, you can't really count Notre Dame. We found a tremendous home for Conference USA, and we're happy. So I never want to give the impression that we're looking for something, but that doesn't mean myself or any AD in the country wouldn't at least,
right answer.
Listen to somebody calling them.
Yeah, that's the right answer. He's Mario Mocha, the athletic director of New Mexico State, with us.
Mario, do you think this is something that will ever settle down and there can be some stability when it comes to conferences, or is it just always going to be chasing because of the financial needs that it takes now to run an athletic department and compete in athletics?
Well, JJ, I think every single time there's been a tectonic plate shift, we're like, okay, now we can settle down and dig in and we're good. And then there's another one. So I think just based on past history, it would be probably foolish if you said, okay, this will be the last iteration of conference realignment. I think the Power Four, I guess, are solidifying. I don't know where this Pac-12, whatever you're calling it, fits in. It's kind of like in the Star Trek neutral zone area between the Group of Five and the
they think they're a power conference.
Four.
Yeah, they think they think that'll make them a power conference. That's what they're holding on to.
Yeah, and I would assume that obviously the television networks would maybe dictate that 100%. More than anything else. But nevertheless, I think to say that this will be it would be probably a little foolish, because we've said this will be it like probably 6 times now.
No doubt. All right. Initially, this is what I wanted to have you on. So you making a request to the New Mexico State Legislature for some money to help fund women's athletics, and somebody said to me, "Yes, it's a crazy ask," and I said, "Maybe, but I kind of like it. Like maybe it is." But in the changing landscape and where this is going with the House decision and with revenue sharing coming and trying to get ahead of the curve, I'm like, all right, so I don't know that I got a problem with crazy, if that's what you want to call it. Talk a little bit about the ask that you're making to the state to help support women's sports.
Yeah, I would label it, maybe it's a little out of the box. We try to do we have to be pretty creative with revenue at New Mexico State. So, it was our idea that we kind of came up with. We wanted to show a commitment to women's sports and then take a leadership role in that. Look, as you mentioned, with the House settlement, and then the scholarship limits being eliminated and new roster limits being established, it just makes it a tenuous time, not just for sports, but maybe particularly women's athletics. So we are, and this has been blessed by, our interim president, our board of regents, et cetera. So, there's 2 funding strategies that we're putting forward for the legislative consideration. One is to create a college women's athletics endowment. So the state is sitting on X amount of dollars, right? Hundreds of millions or billions. So we're just asking, hey, would you create an endowment? So don't give us the money, just take 137 million of that. I don't say that lightly, right. But just move it in a different account, right? And create an endowment that would kick out approximately $5 to $6 million per year, and that would go solely to support our women's athletics program. The other request would be a straight appropriation of about $27.5 million that would be expended over a 5-year period of time. Now, that's giving us that money, to use layman's terms. The other one is just, hey, you keep your money, just put it in an account, and that account will kick out $5 to $6 million. And then, obviously, with the roster limits changing and travel and nutrition and mental health, along with cost of attendance and Alston monies, and potentially, if there's Title IX implications, if Tony Sanchez says, hey, to be competitive, I need 10 extra scholarships, well, that's 10 I need to come up with the women, right? Because that's going to be, unlike NIL, outside of the department, we've got to follow Title IX regulations. So would adding another sport or 2 be mandated? So this would really, I think, offer a tremendous insurance policy or a foundation for our women's athletics programs, I'll say in perpetuity, but for a long while.
Mario, what do you see the future of women's athletics and Olympic sports? Because there's a lot of talk even at the highest levels of, them pushing maybe even some of those teams to club sports. Like, they don't seem too concerned with rules that have been in place for a long time, and especially with the House settlement potentially coming down, revenue sharing, I think a lot more schools would be willing to challenge those federal laws. So I know you're trying to stabilize it. What do you think the future is for women's athletics overall?
It's a great question, JJ, because right now, we have 10 women's sports and 6 men's sports. We have the FBS minimum of 16 sports. So we can't just continue a sport and maintain our FBS status. But will the NCAA reduce that down? Right now as an FCS, you only have to have 14 sports. So I guess that's a possibility along with a lot of other possibilities. But you're right. I mean, Ross Bjork is the AD at Ohio State. We work together at Missouri, so we talk a lot. And it's a little disconcerting when even them with a jumbo budget, a top 4, a top 5, at least in the country budget, is saying things like that. Now, look, New Mexico State, I can't see a world. It'd be disingenuous if I said we're going to take part in revenue sharing, $20 million. I mean, we're not making money here, let alone dispersing that kind of monies to the student athletes. So while that's off the table, there's still a tremendous amount of expenses in what I just laid out. So there is a tremendous need, and this is one a creative solution that we think, and we hope that the legislature we'll consider this upcoming session.
He's New Mexico State Athletic Director Mario Mocha with us on These Sports Animals. So what's the response been? It's relatively new proposal, but what have you heard?
We have, look, just with any idea, it's like that old Schoolhouse Rock, I'm a Bill. You have an idea, and then you talk to your constituency about it and your local legislative constituency. You hope that you'll get a couple of, I guess, for the lack of a better term, sponsors, on both sides of the aisle. So, now you kind of launch your, for lack of a better term, either sales or education campaign, and you hope that it'll get legs. I have talked to David Williams about that. I think, look, the reality is at that type of level and that type of funding, it would be hard-pressed for the state, I think, to do something for New Mexico State and not UNM or vice versa. We've seen that with our direct appropriations. Certainly the Capitol is different, right, because those are individual legislators. So I think in some way, shape, or form, we may have different ways of getting around it, but we usually kind of coalesce together. But, UNM is more than welcome to kind of hop on with this. We just had a preliminary discussion, so, right in the heart of football season. But we'll see how it goes. We'll make our case.
Hell of a game last week, huh? I watched you play the best team in your league and outplay them for three-plus quarters. I thought you had that. Well, I thought, and I told JJ, I thought that would have been a program, like that's a next-level victory for your program that you didn't get. Damn near got it. You get a rematch of a bowl game coming up in Fresno this weekend, but your football team played really well on Saturday.
Well, we did, and I got to be honest with you. I went in there thinking that it was going to be a potential lopsided game. I saw
Vegas.
The line, had 20-something points, and then they put 50 on us or 49 on us in the championship game, and all of our defense is, either with Arizona State, Colorado, Syracuse, Utah State, so we don't really have a whole lot of returners. And, boy, we played Liberty from the defensive side of it about as good as we can. And, in that fourth quarter, I'm like, hey, we're going to win this game. And obviously they're a great team, and they responded with those last two drives. But it gave me great hope, for the rest of the season. I hate that we're playing at Fresno because I know how good they are with that quarterback. But, it's a long season. And, when you watch NIU upset Notre Dame or, last year when we beat Auburn, I mean, that's why they play the games. Nothing's given, especially with all the transfers and things like that. You really are learning the rosters.
Yeah, I appreciate it. Good luck with the funding measures, and I know a whole lot will happen in January and February during the session up in Santa Fe. But it's creative, it's different, it's out of the box, and maybe it's just something that works for you, right? And if it's something that works, you're in a good spot. So. Appreciate the conversation, and I know we'll talk a lot more soon.
Well, thanks, Jeff. You're like Nostradamus, having to get me on a guest right this morning when all this news is breaking. Yeah. But I appreciate always, and appreciate all the Aggie fans up in the Deuce City.
Be well. Talk to you soon. Mario Mocha, the athletic director at New Mexico State, and it was the right answer. I had to ask the question, right? I mean, but he's in a conference. You don't want to piss anybody off and say, "Hey, I'm looking to leave." But I mean, you always listen.
Everyone knows. That's the right answer. Every single school. Yeah. That's how you answer that question.
The right answer. All right, 505-246-0610. Get in on what you heard, and, I mean, let's go. Because I want to hear what you think about what the news came down this morning, and what do you want next for New Mexico State, and your thoughts on how you even got here. It's the opening drive on 95.9 FM and AM 610, the Sports Animal.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible.
I'm David C. Chavez, personal injury attorney. Our law firm was founded by my father, Thibaut J. Chavez, with one goal, to get New Mexicans the help they need. That's why we built a different kind of law firm. We focus on family values, dedicated service, and we make a real contribution by giving back to our communities. We can't change what happened to you or your loved ones, but we can help you get back on the road to recovery. We're by your side, and we're still as local as red and green.
Don't sacrifice quality and flavor when you're in a hurry. Golden Pride offers ribs, fried chicken, red and green chili breakfast burritos, and Frontier Sweet Rolls. 4 great locations, or visit us online at goldenprideabq.com. Golden Pride Barbecue Chicken and Ribs are proud supporters of ProView Sports.
You followed him from the first day he signed with the team. You remember the day he poured in 63 points? The night he played a sold-out concert to 30,000 people. The day he gave his infamous speech. That's why you believe in heroes. That's why you remember and collect their memorabilia. All In Autographs, where you can meet some of the greats, collect some of the greats, and share your own legacy. Visit All In Autographs, where you can celebrate the great and have your own piece of history.
International Protective Services is a proud supporter of ProView Sports and New Mexico Youth Athletics. IPS provides residential and commercial security services in the Albuquerque metro area. For more info, please call 505-897-2420 or visit internationalprotectiveservice.com.
I'm David C. Chavez, personal injury attorney. For over 4 decades, our law firm has remained steadfast in our commitment to serving the remarkable people of New Mexico that have been injured through no fault of their own. I'm a New Mexican fighting for New Mexicans. I received my bachelor's degree at NMSU and earned my law degree at UNM. I can proudly say I'm both an Aggie and a Lobo. Call now and I will meet with you. 40 years strong, and we're still as local as red and green.
for doing more. But people weren't designed for all that doing. Our bodies need to settle into nothing from time to time. Into nothing at all. In a world obsessed with doing more, we invite you to undo.
Opening drive on 95.9 FM and AM 610, the Sports Animal. Big day. Boise State, San Diego State, Colorado State, Fresno State. Fresno State surprise you? I'll go to the Pac-12. Fresno State instead of UNLV?
Yes.
Surprise you a little bit? Me too.
They're taking into consideration with Fresno State football success and showing consistency.
I guess. Well, yep. It's not going to happen. It's not maybe going to happen. It's not. It happened. A report came out last night, and they all changed their logos today and made announcements. So now what happens? 505-246-0610. Don, good morning. You're on the Sports Animal. Hi, Don.
Good morning, Jeff. What a perfect fall day this is turning out to be. Minus the news we got early this morning. forgive my ignorance here, Jeff, but is there any other university in the country or that relies on their local legislature to fund them and their athletics program? Is there?
Yeah, not solely, and I don't think anybody's asking
No,
to be solely, but yeah, well, I mean, many, like Wyoming, for instance, their legislature matches everything. Now, that's the only Division I school in that state, so they match. From what I understand, everything they raise, the legislature matches them. Many schools, and I don't know if it's the majority, do get help from the state. Yeah, state schools. Yeah.
So I don't know if it was this one or last time this was talked about. I was reading like a minimum for your athletic budget, like $60 million or something. Is that still the truth?
Where at UNM or New Mexico State?
No. For the new conference that was being established.
Well, no, they never said anything. So there was talk about if the Mountain West was to stay together and Oregon State and Washington State would join them, would they set minimum budgets? And the number that was being thrown around was 60, but they never got to that point.
Okay. All right. Well, it's maybe it's time that the state took to invest in something that could benefit. And you're going to get this kickback. Well, it's sports. Why should you be investing in sports, this and that? But you know what? It's all about quality of life in this state, and we need drastic improvement as far as that goes. We've got record budgets down in the oil and gas industry. Maybe, Jeff, you need to become a lobbyist, head up to Santa Fe, and drag some people with you like Mario. And it's too bad that the old athletic director, still Eddie, isn't here still. But we need to do something because the livelihood of this state and our local communities without some positive sports to go to and attend is gonna hurt. And I think we're seeing the results right now.
Appreciate the call, Don. Thank you. All right, 505-246-0610. Look, I don't know that it can all be on the state, but I mean, I think some of it, there's got to be commitment. Wyoming's done it, and they've had some success. Now you'll say, where did that leave them? And it's a fair answer. Fair. John sent me an email, Jeff at sportsanalabq.com. It says, well, Jeff, the time has finally come. With news today, UNM has got to decide, and by the time Bronco's next contract comes up to be renewed, we as a university need to commit to making this football program a farm school for larger programs. It already is for the most part. We keep paying our football coaches millions of dollars over the course of their contracts only to see them leave or be ineffective. I've been paying attention, it says, to Lobo athletics for 40 years. And except for the occasional bowl appearance, the program has been nothing but a drain on the athletic program and extremely unsuccessful. We don't need to be paying football coaches millions. We need to realize who we are. Bring in bright young coaches, pay them the minimum, allow them to develop and leave when the big fish come calling. Be a coaching farm club. It's who we are anyway, but we're paying way too much. Just stop doing it. Pay Patino more. Try to keep him here in a program that has sustained success that's completely opposite from the football team, usually successful, with a few down years. I know football, quote, stirs the drink, end quote, as you say. It's time to put a stopper in the drain that's UNM football. I know we need it. It's time to be realistic about what it can be, end quote. That's from John. I understand your point. And first of all, you haven't been paying coaches. I mean, you pay millions over the course of their contract. It's not like you've been paying more than anybody else in this league. You've been middle to bottom in what you pay football coaches. And the lack of success in football is gotten you to today. It's why you where you are today. If you were having Colorado State level success, which isn't great success, right? They've been competitive. You'd have been in the conversation. You would. You got basketball. You got a good market. You don't have a good facility. But I believe that if you don't, do you think I'm wrong, JJ? If you'd have had Colorado State level success over the last decade and a half of football, you'd be in the conversation. I don't know if you'd have been at the table today, but you'd have been in the conversation.
Yes. When you look at Colorado State, there's some success there. There's a gigantic investment with the stadium, the overall campus, their facilities. No, I think Fresno State is the one we can point to why football success. They have fine facilities, but it's not like Fresno is a metropolis. But they have that to lean on, some success there. People support the football program. So they have that going for them, and you don't really need to explain what we've seen at Boise State.
Right.
And then San Diego State, same thing, is they've won, and then they don't have the stadium investment.
I mean, they have Southern California, which was
that's marketable.
Yeah. Ken says, how presaged was this, Jeff? OD callers deserve to move up to P5. Who has warned for years this was a possibility without a new state-of-the-art facility? All new, not renovated old University Stadium. Was it Adolph? A lot of people. How much is on Santa Fe, says Jack. Jeff, I can't imagine Bill Richardson would have let this happen without a fight. I mean, I don't know how much is on. I mean, what are you going to look? You can place blame all the way up the ladder if you want, and all the way down the ladder. What are you going to do now? Right? Do you still bang on that door, try to get in? There's still seats at that table. Do you try to be one of them? I'd still be banging on that door, telling you what I got, what I bring. Now, I got to believe those 6 schools have a plan. Don't you? There's a plan. They know who they're targeting. This thing, while it feels like it happened overnight, it didn't happen overnight. This has been going on for a year. Those 4 schools have been this plan they got a plan. But I'd still be banging on the door trying to get in. By the same token, man, figuring out plan B, plan C, plan D, plan E, plan F, plan G. What do you want to see happen? If you can't get into the Pac-12, where do you want to go?
I do think that the Mountain West isn't in a position where everyone is immediately going to leave, because if you're looking at potentially close to $16 million per school, that's not nothing. That can be a Band-Aid to give you some time to think about this, as opposed to one of those schools just immediately going, we're going to the American Athletic Conference, we're going to Conference USA, because of those conferences are not going to be like, oh, hey, let me pay your buyout.
That's 100% right.
So that does give the Mountain West some time. And now, what do you want to see? I think, because schools leaving those conferences, other than travel budget, it's not a given that it's better. Like a Conference USA team coming to the Mountain West or American Athletic. So you have to, I think, then go to is there any of those FCS teams that want to take a step up in football? The Dakotas, the Montanas.
I mean, there's been a lot of talk about it, right? There's been a lot of talk about
Definitely start there.
Text line, those who think that due to the 4 schools leaving today that Coach Mendenhall will be leaving don't realize that Coach Mendenhall isn't here for the conference that we're in. He's here to prove that this school's football program can win despite the challenges we've had or have. Okay? I don't know that he's leaving right away. I think people are asking long term. Mudd says if the Lobos want to be in talks with big conference conversations, they at UNM and the legislature need to upgrade football stadium and facilities. Agreed. 505-246-0610. Keep them coming. Big day in the college landscape, certainly around here. It's the opening drive on 95.9 FM and AM 610, the Sports Animal.
Dirty Boys present Fill in the...
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible.
I'm David C. Chavis, personal injury attorney. For over 4 decades, our law firm has remained steadfast in our commitment to serving the remarkable people of New Mexico that have been injured through no fault of their own. I'm a New Mexican fighting for New Mexicans. I received my bachelor's degree at NMSU and earned my law degree at UNM. I can proudly say I'm both an Aggie and a Lobo. Call now and I will meet with you. 40 years strong, and we're still as local as red and green.
Rudy's is a proud supporter of ProView Networks.
For your surprisingly great rates, Contact your local State Farm agent today.
If you want the real deal, call State Farm agent Marty Size in Albuquerque today.
Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there.
International Protective Services is a proud supporter of ProView Sports and New Mexico Youth Athletics. IPS provides residential and commercial security services in the Albuquerque metro area. For more info, please call 505-897-2420 or visit internationalprotectiveservice.com. We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible. For over 20 years, Evergard Roofing and Solar has been committed to customer service. Locally owned and operated, Evergard offers both commercial and residential roofing and solar services. For more info, please call 505-821-9543. Evergard Roofing and Solar are proud supporters of ProView Sports Network and New Mexico Youth Athletics.
I might not be in the cage as much anymore. Just like riding a bicycle, I can pick up the fight from where I left off. I'm not some slick-haired outsider posing with borrowed gloves. I grew up here. New Mexico is in my blood. I'm a New Mexican fighting for other New Mexicans. I'm Adam Oki. I'll be your champion in the courtroom.
Hi, my name is Daniel Chavez, and this is my business partner, David Chavez. We are the owners of Indeed Safety. Indeed Safety is a local safety consulting company helping our clients with their safety needs for their projects.
One of the things we pride ourselves as a construction safety company is helping our men and women in construction get home safe every day to their families. Indeed Safety is a proud supporter of ProView Network.
ProView Networks would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible. Hans Whitler Automotive, German car maintenance and repair in Albuquerque, New Mexico. Call 505-294-7684 or...
I'm sorry, the Pac-12. So the Pac-12 is reemerging, and the Mountain West took a huge hit today, losing 4 big brands. Now what happens? Where do you go if you're the Mountain West? What do you do if you're New Mexico? What do you want to see happen? Because this isn't, reported. This might happen. I mean, I've been in touch with one AD that's, of the 4 schools this morning. I've read the statements from 3 of the 4 schools. It's done. So now what? Les says, is this penance from 2020, Jeff? Is the PAC looking at UNM and saying your schools had a hole up in Vegas, Dixie State, and Lubbock? You wouldn't even let them practice in their own gyms, use their own weight rooms? That doesn't show the commitment to sports that we need. No, I don't think that. No. Matt says their plan. Jeff, I agree the PAC has a plan. I suspect it's probably along the lines of the top 4 are in and will cover your costs. The next 4 are on the hook for their own exit fees and a lesser share. If that's the case, I think everyone thinks long and hard before jumping. There's no guarantee this is a power conference or that the new media deal is significantly more than the old. Still plenty to come. Not the end of UNM, just need to be strategic and step up financially, whether it's for this round or the future. That's interesting. Matt, I first of all, 100%, this isn't the last round. So what he's saying, JJ, is we'll cover the cost for those schools if you want to come in, you cover your own costs, which is what, a $10 to $12 million buyout? Is that what the number is?
So with the poaching fees, was that there? Or was that agreed upon?
So that was agreed upon with the scheduling agreement.
Because I will say that is a great move.
100%
by the Mountain West to get extra money out of this. The Pac-12 wanted to do this, but still agreed to pay up extra money. At least you got that.
$17 million exit fee. And then with the scheduling agreement for this year, the Mountain West built in a poaching fee. $10 to $12 million. It goes up for like 10 and then 11 and for however many teams you take. But there's a poaching fee. So basically, the number that I'm seeing is $111 million coming into the Mountain West for these 4 teams leaving. That's great that you get the money, and I'm not downplaying money in times like this. But what are you doing? And A, you got to stay together. Because otherwise they'll just go, I'm not paying you. And there's no league to pay. Why are we paying you people? And so somebody said it earlier, and I think that's a good point. That's
I would look at the Pac-12 and go, well, the same reason you kept all your money when those schools left.
Well, there were two schools there to keep it. Yeah, there were two schools.
There's going to be, not every one of these Mountain West schools is going to find a soft landing place.
You're right.
Someone is going to still be flying that Mountain West flag, just like those two Pac-12 schools.
So you think it could be, Nevada and Utah State are sitting there, whatever it is, right?
Yeah.
Could be New Mexico, dude.
Yes.
And if that's all there is. And again, I think there's a number of ways this goes. Does the Mountain West now, and there's a call now, right? Does the Mountain West get together and find a way to add?
Well, they have to add one, correct? Regardless.
Well, yeah, but not today.
Not
right?
today, but
to get to 8 to the minimum to get NCAA bid, yeah, but they get a 2-year grace period too. So it's not like they got to do it today, before they get poached, right? Or does it splinter and they all just go, couple to the American, couple to CUSA? I don't know. I don't know. I think I honestly feel it's 50-50 right now without knowing more facts. I think the fact that money's there keeps them together for a minute, right? Everybody wants to make sure we get those checks. Okay, split it. Okay, now I'm gone. Right? Because 111 divided by the 7.5 schools because Hawaii gets their football share. It's some money that's coming in there. Text line says, Global Fan is delusional. Your basketball program's been to the NCAA tournament one time in 10 years, 6 times in the last 25. You are not a powerhouse in performance or name recognition. Please stop embarrassing yourselves with that take. You are relevant because of your building, not performance, and this is about performance. Utah State and Nevada have been way more successful. By the way, the football program has as many bowl games in that same span and can make the argument the same level of postseason success, one and done. Okay? Numbers are numbers. I can't dispute your numbers. Numbers are numbers. Look, this has been a good basketball.
And then when it's all said and done, and New Mexico State are in the same league, then what bad trash talk are we going to have on the text line?
Do you think that's right? Yeah, do you think that's where that goes?
The table has a lot of different place settings.
Yeah. All right. The reporting on this, buying out the schools to the Mountain West will cost about $113 million. And the Pac-12 is going to use their existing resources to leverage that. Where does it go? The Pac-12's got to add more schools. They've got some time. They'll court Cal and Stanford. I don't know if Cal and Stanford could get out of their grant of rights with the ACC. I would think it's going to be really, really tough. So what other group of 5 teams from around the country would they look at? Are they done with the Mountain West? Is it, Tulane and Memphis are the top names? Does that do they want to go all the way out there? Tulane and Memphis. They want to go to New Orleans and Memphis? Do they come back and take another bite of the apple at the Mountain West? And how do you feel? Where do you want UNM to go?
All I know, Jeff, is I'm hopping on Dynasty mode in college football, and I'm making my own conference. Yeah. Doing it. Taking my ball, leaving everyone behind.
Yeah.
What you got to do.
What if the conference, this is on text line, what if the conference, Mountain West, dissolves? Is the Pac-12 off the hook or on the hook for the money? Well, if they dissolved, like if everybody got poached today, to your point, if someone let's just say there's 3 schools standing there holding the flag, then they're saying, yeah, you're on the hook, you owe us money.
Yeah. Like, we're going to come rich.
Yep. That's how that would play.
You ever seen that much money in Logan? Now you do.
All right, we'll wrap it up for you. We got NFL tonight here on these Sports Animal. You get Dolphins and Bills. You do get that. Set your lineups tonight. You got Thursday Night Football. It's the opening drive on 95.9 FM and AM 610 Sports Animal.
Visit HansWhitlerAuto.com. We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible.
Got shots? Got shots? Got shots?
During Got Shots, participating providers open their doors for any child who presents for immunizations, regardless of whether they are a patient or whether they have insurance.
I'm David C. Chavez, personal injury attorney. For over 4 decades, our law firm has remained steadfast in our commitment to serving the remarkable people of New Mexico that have been injured through no fault of their own. I'm a New Mexican fighting for New Mexicans. I received my bachelor's degree at NMSU and earned my law degree at UNM. I can proudly say I'm both an Aggie and a Lobo. Call now and I will meet with you. 40 years strong, and we're still as local as red and green.
TurboThreads is a proud sponsor of ProView Networks.
Almost 30 years of experience means fast service, great prices, and a wide selection of apparel from t-shirts to performance sports shirts, even jackets and hats. They feature low minimums and no setup charges on most orders. TurboThreads is located at 1503 Golf Course Road in Rio Rancho, or find them on Facebook, online at turbothreads.com, or call 999-1234 for TurboThreads.
Don't sacrifice quality and flavor when you're in a hurry. Golden Pride offers ribs, fried chicken, red and green chili breakfast burritos, and Frontier Sweet Rolls. 4 great locations, or visit us online at goldenprideabq.com. Golden Pride Barbecue Chicken and Ribs are proud supporters of ProView Sports.
If you're drunk, blasted, intoxicated, ripped,
Plastered.
taint, destroyed, bruh. If you're like this, you shouldn't be driving.
These are more than just the sounds of a safe place to go after school. These are the sounds of interest being ignited and of mentors making an impact. At Boys and Girls Clubs, we don't do just one thing. We do whatever it takes to meet the needs of every kid who comes through those doors. Because whatever it takes is what it takes to build great futures. Great futures start here.
Hi, I'm Steve Stucker here for Dr. Robert Melendez and the Juliet Eye Institute. You may remember me like this, but no more. The glasses are gone. I tossed them months ago because of a brand new procedure from Dr. Melendez known as RLE, Refractive Lens Exchange. The latest technology, the best eyesight I've ever had in my life, and you can check it out by clicking on the link in the description right here.
International Protective Services is a proud supporter of ProView Sports and New Mexico Youth Athletics. IPS provides residential and commercial security services in the Albuquerque metro area. For more info, please call 505-897-2420 or visit internationalprotectiveservice.com.
Albuquerque's leader in sports is ProView. From pros to prep, all your favorite action. All your favorite talk shows. Find it on ProView Networks.
These are more than just the sounds of a safe place to go after school. These are the sounds of interest being ignited and of mentors making an impact. At Boys and Girls Clubs, we don't do just one thing. We do whatever it takes to meet the needs of every kid who comes through those doors. Because whatever it takes is what it takes to build great futures. Great futures start here.
Of interesting notes coming out of the San Diego State, Colorado State, Fresno State, and Boise State moved to the Pac-12 this morning. And if you're just joining us, they are gone. They have all announced that they're leaving the Mountain West and joining the Pac-12. Jeff Grammer points out, and he's right, the announcements from both Fresno State and Boise State used the same paragraph, and it noted that the Pac-12 prioritized geography and logistics, staying out west. And in the Colorado State statement that I read you from John Weber, their athletic director, he said the power of the Pac-12 lies in the fact that the member institutions are situated in the West. So, which would lead you to believe that the priority of the expansion of that league, or the resurrection of that league, or the reconstruction of that league, or however you want to phrase it, is staying out west. Now, I don't know if that gives you any hope or whatever. I'm watching, and I just listened to some stuff coming out of Boise during the break. They're giddy, like they are giddy, and I'm like, you guys just joined a 6-person league, and like you didn't get in the Big 12. And I think they're all these people, and they felt like, and you and I heard it when we go to these media days.
They became the Mountain West, just in a different banner.
Yeah, but they shed themselves of what they feel is the bottom of the league, dragging them down.
So you're going to be the next best conference and still not a power conference.
And I'm not sure they believe that. I believe they think they're still a power conference.
They can believe all they want and spin this, and the fan base is
I agree
absolutely
with
100%. You share that on social media, your fans are behind you. Big Ten, the SEC, the Big 12, ACC are sitting there going,
yeah, whatever.
That's cool.
Yeah, whatever. No, 100%. They're saying whatever. The guys in Boise were just talking about something. One of I forgot who it was that just brought up here, and I just got a text. We would be giddy as well. Yeah, I get it, because it feels like that's more secure than what you're leaving, right?
You'd be giddy, but you could still say the same exact thing. You're in the same spot,
right? But now you feel like you're going to something that's building as opposed to something that's splintering. See what I'm saying? People are going to that. That's all.
Yeah, but you just shifted from where you were to there.
Logistically,
you're not all of a sudden doubling up your television revenue.
I don't think so. Yeah.
You're not all of a sudden going to a conference and say, man, if I win this conference championship, I'm guaranteed a spot in the college football playoff.
So these guys were just talking about something that somebody brought up here. Do you think that they go to, and this may be a New Mexico option, I don't know, UNLV and say, all right, there might be room for it, but we're not paying your exit fees. If you want to pay the exit fee, what was it, JJ, 17 million or whatever the number is? If you want to pay your own exit fee, there might be room for you. I mean, does New Mexico go, and again, wherever you get it, and this would be a legislative thing, although I'm tired of just everything having to be from the state legislature. And I don't know, would there be a seat at the table if New Mexico went and said, hey, we'll pay our own exit fee? We want in?
And at that point, what you're doing is, as you said, because things have shifted, you're chasing the stability.
100% you are.
Of just being what you were, but apparently feeling better about it.
Yeah. But, I mean, would you... I mean, there'd have to be a lot of guarantees. Like, obviously, let me just tell you something. Jeremiah Dickey and J.D. Wicker and the athletic director at Boise State.
These are smart guys. They made these decisions for a reason.
They've seen the numbers, right? They obviously, they're not going for less television. They're not going for less, right? They believe that there's going to be more money. They're not doing it for less money. Their fan bases are giddy because they don't have to go to Wyoming anymore and go to New Mexico anymore. Because they're above elevation. They shouldn't have to do that. But I don't know. Do you think there's something to that as far as who's next in that league? They will expand further. how would you feel? And I don't know. Look, I'm throwing stuff at the wall right now. I don't know that they would say, yeah, all right, we take New Mexico and UNLV, but you guys pay your own exit fees.
It's down the list of possibilities, but I'm sure it's on the list.
How would you feel about that?
At this point, kind of have to do it if it's there. If
Where
you can get those fees covered,
where do you
if
find
you can get that money covered.
Yeah, where are you finding that? And that's when you're begging Santa Fe, right?
Because right now the Mountain West is also freezing assets to the schools that are leaving.
Right.
So,
right. It's going to play out. I got a text out to the interim athletic director, David Williams, to see if he'll come on tomorrow and talk about it. Said he was on a call, and I believe him. He was on a conference call this morning that he needed to be on, and they need to be on that. They need to figure out what's next. But this is good. Look, by the time we sit here in 21 hours from now, the story's going to change a bunch too. And there's going to be new rumors out. And whether this, is this school going to this league or are they looking at this school? And because there will be rumors out.
Of course. And I think if you're the Mountain West, the potential money that's coming in, some ways to use it could be to distribute that to your conference, to your schools, but then also say we're setting a pot aside to then do A, B, and C to reinforce the conference, because they're going to have to add somebody or some buddies. And does that help them in that realm?
Text line, one last question, Jeff, and it's spelled GEOFF. How much revenue will there be to be shared up there? Up where? Are we talking about the Mountain West? There's like, $113 million supposedly between the poaching fees and the exit fees that's coming into the Mountain West. Assuming they collect it all. And that's going to be another thing, man. They're going to be, Gloria said that they're holding everybody to the bylaws, which means they're holding everybody to the exit fees and to the poaching fees. Is there going to be some sort of a try to work out an agreement, a settlement, something like that? A lot to do, man, but man, not a great day. I'm going to tell you that. It's I've enjoyed the Mountain West Conference the way it was. I've enjoyed the teams in there. I know Boise State and San Diego State people, and they're like, "Oh, we're done with that. I'm glad to be out of that damn league." I get it, because somehow they think they're better. He said between the new conference teams. So, how much revenue will there be shared at the PAC? I don't think they know the answer yet. Right? When they go in and start in the 2026-2027 academic year, they don't know what their television deal is going to be. So they just believe it's going to be more. All right, thanks to Mario Mocha and to Jerry Palm. They both joined us today. Working on stuff for tomorrow. Try to get you some stuff out of UNM and where they go and what they do next. Jim Rome Show is next. The Herd with Colin Cowards after that. Actually, we got day baseball today, don't we? Isotopes play a day game. 2 men on at 4, and then we got the NFL tonight. Bills and Dolphins. Adrian, great work. Big day for you, huh?
Woo, huge day.
Enjoy it. Be good to each other, please. Be kind, loving, caring, and sharing. We'll smell you tomorrow.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible. TurboThreads is a proud sponsor of ProView Networks.
Almost 30 years of experience means fast service, great prices, and a wide selection of apparel from t-shirts to performance sport shirts, even jackets and hats. They feature low minimums and no setup charges on most orders. TurboThreads is located at 1503 Golf Course Road in Rio Rancho, or find them on Facebook, online at turbothreads.com, or call 999-1234 for TurboThreads.
High school sports are back. You can watch every ProView Network broadcast online on the NFHS network. Every moment from every game from every sport, including all NMAA state championship games. Get your monthly pass now. Just go to ProViewNetworks.com, click on the NFHS logo, and sign up today. Watch New Mexico's best.
What's going on, Lobo Nation? Ja'Cory Krosky-Miller here. And I'm Devin Dampier. The Lobo football team's going through some changes, but we're here to stay. We'll put in the work on the field and in the weight room, but we'll need your help off the field. 505 Sports Venture is leading the charge in the NIL space. And you can be part of it.
Try this shit better than all my intentions. Locked in, shorty, you got my attention. CEO, baby, I get you the business. Touchdown and pay you a visit.
You followed him from the first day he signed with the team. You remember the day he poured in 63 points? The night he played a sold-out concert to 30,000 people. The day he gave his infamous speech. That's why you believe in heroes. That's why you remember and collect their memorabilia. All in autographs, where you can meet some of the greats, collect some of the greats, and share your own legacy. Visit All In Autographs, where you can celebrate the great